someone was tuning in now, because everything else is like, okay, Somnambula's the bad guys. Go.
They're the Nazis.
What else do you want us to say, right? They're the big evil corporation, and they've done some fucked up shit in the past, and you'll probably hear about it.
Yeah. Well, all right. So
hi, John.
Hi. I actually wrote in my notebook as I was going through my notes for 23.
No way, John is here.
Something,
you guys, I was just thinking about John being here, and like there he is.
I'm here. I was the strangest thing.
I'm sorry.
There was no invite.
There was an invite.
No, but I could see. I could see it, but then I couldn't. It wasn't like on the computer. It wasn't on it. It wasn't in my crash or anything. And then when I searched for it, it popped up in the search, but I couldn't find it in any box.
You are a fabulating Francis.
Yeah,
Don't be a fabulating Francis.
I fully admit that it is a shortcoming. I can't understand, but I'm here.
Love it.
I don't know how to resize this so that you guys aren't minuscule, but I can still see all my stuff.
I don't know.
How did I do that before? That doesn't matter.
I'm sure we'll figure it out.
You got this.
Window real estate management is an important thing.
Yes, it is.
I'm doing the same thing right now.
All right. Well, so let me ask you this before we officially jump in, and maybe or maybe not. There's any spoilers for someone who's watching
Don't give
this
in.
later.
Don't give in.
So Chip had a plan after speaking with Reggie, which I think was probably in episode 30. They had a long existential conversation, and Deck was of the mind that he was going to go and fix the situation on his own. So he found a Somnambula person and was going to steal their ID, but we didn't get that far because then other things happened.
Right.
So, and this is maybe a refresher for you guys too. Like, so these are the things that are in play currently as we enter into this sort of end stage scenario.
Mm-hmm.
The guy that wanted Reggie to get in the car, whose name we didn't get, because we don't know if any of the other Reggies got in the car.
I don't recall any of this.
Okay, now I can just, from the time that Scylla contacted Nash to say it's going to be a few more days till the moment we begin play tonight, it has only been like 3.5 days. That's like tops. Everything that's happened in the last 3 sessions is like mostly 1 day.
Yeah.
With just a little bit of extra stuff added on.
Right. Well, but I was going to say the guy that Reggie talked to said that they were going to handle the situation with or without us. So that's happening in the background as we sort of make plans on how we want to proceed. The only other stuff I wanted to clear up was we brought Reggie in with Bento's help. He went in the pod. We had a conversation with him when Bento left, and I don't know how long Reggie was. He was down for an hour, so we probably talked to Bento for maybe like a half hour. Nash went out, grabbed the unconscious guy who was still unconscious, brought him in, and we didn't say, but I would like to retcon if this is possible, right? Because we brought him in, is that we took him to the hollow deck. Nash strapped him to a fucking wooden chair or whatever. After Deck cycles out of the pod, he wants him to program the room to look like a dirty old fucking basement with a dirt floor, and there's a fucking hole dug in the floor. But obviously it's all virtual. That's how we're interrogating him. But I don't know that he could have done it while he was waiting to get into the pod, because he was fucked up too. Right, so Nash brought him in. He was unconscious.
I feel like it makes it's not a big problem narratively if we just start off the episode with you doing that, dragging him in and doing that.
Yeah, because we've only been at Dark Matter for minutes now. I think we got there. I'm not. Is it because I
okay,
remember
can
we
somebody
got there
now?
and had
I
a
have not.
conversation, but that was about it.
I have not re-listened to the end of the last episode, so can somebody please help me? It's probably you, John. The guy that you've got. I know he wasn't the team leader because team leader got his head cut off.
Mhm.
Was he the guy who was shooting at Trae out in the forest, or was he the dude in the van?
The drone
he was
operator.
the dude in the van. He was the drone operator.
All right.
So Nash went by, strafed him. He passed out. We made the med roll on Reggie, got him patched up. The drone with the dead guy, presumably was going back to Somnambula because it wasn't hanging around the car.
Yep.
That's going to be fantastic. But so then Reggie, so we brought Reggie in. We talked to Bento. So, so in real time, that conversation is maybe 15 or 20 minutes because we had it, right? But so in the suits, normally when you get locked down for it's an hour. So Reggie had come out, at the end of the episode, Reggie had sort of came out of the pod and Deck was like, hey, can I, is it my turn? So
actually, the length of time in there depends on the damage. So Reggie was in there, I believe, 3 hours.
I was in bad shape.
Yeah.
Really bad.
So I assume before, I was going to say Chip again, before Deck even went into the pod.
You've already said it a few times.
I know. Unless I'm so like this episode. So unless there was more than one pod, I'm assuming Nash brought that guy in, strapped him out, even if Deck or Trae actually couldn't have actually set the room up. He's blindfolded, gagged, and tied to a fucking wooden chair. He's not going anywhere. It doesn't matter. If he can see it or not see it if he wakes up. You know what I mean?
Right. And here's what I feel more comfortable with. Rather than going back and retconning a whole elaborate setup like that, let's assume that you did absolutely nothing, but also neither did he. And therefore, some point in the conversation with Bento, you remember, there's this dude. We got to do something. We'll start right off with that.
Okay, that's fine. I think we kind of did that, but I can always edit that out of last episode and then pick it up, or just have that little bit of overlap where it's sort of reinforcing this is what happened.
If you've listened to it since we did it, then it's fresher for you.
Well, how difficult is it to program that space? Do you is it how similar to the Star Trek holodeck is it? Are there pre-programmed?
There is.
So yeah. So I mean, in theory, Nash could do that himself. He could go in and be like, "Give me a dirt pit."
Probably. I mean, yeah. Julio usually did that for us.
Yeah, Julio. It actually takes an operator who's familiar with the software in order.
Oh, does it? All right.
In order to create something that's not already saved.
Right. Yeah.
And we don't have
but if it was something, if it was something saved, then you could go in and be like, hey, I just want a show me middle of nowhere dirt mound.
Yeah, good chance there's something generic Middle Eastern desert.
Right. Or middle of the woods.
Redwood forest.
Yeah. He'll wait. He'll wait for Trae to do it. The guy's not going anywhere. It doesn't matter. All right, cool. So we're ready to jump in then?
No.
Ready as will ever be.
I want this to happen, and I'm so afraid of it happening.
I know. It's horrible. I didn't sleep last night. All right, here we go.
What did I miss?
I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen. These guys are reaching out.
Hello and welcome to the Legends of Tabletop podcast. We're getting ready to jump into episode 32 of our DayTrippers games. Shit has hit the fan. Reggie was almost murdered. Trae was almost murdered. It's a real shit show. So I'm going to kick it over to Todd. He's going to let us know where we're at, and then we'll see what happens.
I'm going to catch it and then try to summarize it. But the fact of the matter is, if this is the first episode that you're listening to, you probably want to back up at least one, maybe two episodes, because we're kind of in the middle of an extended arc here, which involves a lot of complicated shit that we have done a better job of explaining in much detail earlier. Here's what I'm going to tell you now, though. Trae Mawaka, that's the real name of the guy that we used to call Deck. Deck was a false ID. He'd been injected into dark matter in order to tag along with Reggie specifically and Nash secondarily. But he's been disconnected from his clutch, and now it seems that the goons of Somnambula, Boo, Hiss, evil bad guys from all the way back in season 1, want him dead. And they've sent out assassins, and they've put out a contract hit on him. In fact, they've got contracts out for all of y'all. The exception is Reggie, who they want alive. There's something special about Reggie. The other guys are worth 10 megas each. Reggie's worth 30, and only if he's brought in alive. Now, you learn you knew some of this before, but you learn more of it from Bento, because after this big firefight with the Somnambula goons in which Reggie and Trae nearly get killed, Nash calls Bento up, takes him to the dark matter headquarters, throws him in the med bays. While they're healing, Bento and Nash have a face-to-face conversation. Bento lets a couple things be known. First off, it was about a month or two ago when he noticed that he has feelers out in various places, and that Somnambula was starting to look around. They later put it together. They're looking specifically for Reggie. And this was about a month before, but sort of underscored by the phone call Bento received from Cordoba back in late December, when Chip had a dream of Reggie. Reggie had the same dream, and you guys ended up, based partially on that dream, saving the world. Since that moment, it seems Somnambula has reinserted themselves into your life with a vigor. And Bento says that his intel has revealed that Cordoba is searching for people called the Dreamers. And apparently Reggie is one of them. And there are 10 others somewhere in the world. Now, Bento will let you know if he learns anything else, but for political reasons, he says he cannot bring dark matter into conflict with Somnambula Inc. There are contracts and alliances that he's not willing to cross. It could damage his company politically, and he's already in a bad way. Finally, just before waking up in the medical tank, Reggie has a vision. It's a group of young children, like a clatch perhaps, on a field trip. And they're entering a big corporate building he doesn't recognize. But shortly afterward, the building gets blown up remotely by a dark-skinned man with dreadlocks and a control tablet. And Reggie wakes up, realizing two things. First, that he's seen this man before. Reggie, about a year and a half ago, he worked for City Express as a cab driver. And back then, this guy got into your cab one day. You absolutely recognize him as the same man. The dreadlocks, the haggard look on his face, very fucking serious expression in the guy's face, like really like furrowed brow and eyes. He's thinking dark thoughts all the time. The guy made you feel a little weird when he was in your cab. And when you see him again in the vision, you recognize him immediately. And the other thing that you realize as you come to consciousness and looking up at the interior curved shell of the medical bay, you think what you just saw hasn't happened yet. You think maybe you can stop it. The pod opens up and Reggie gets out. We're maybe doing a little bit of blurry retconning or smudging the seams a little bit. We're going to put Trae in the tank, but before you go in the tank, Jesse, if there's anything you want to say, I'm going to give you a chance to say it, and then we'll kick it over to Nash because you got to deal with the unconscious man out in the car.
All right, so yeah, I think the only thing while this is going on is Trae will hop on to a forum. He goes to argofans.com,
Okay.
which is a Canadian Football League forum. and he heads into a private into a page that he set up a long time ago called Blue Bombers Prospects, and he'll just drop a message in that thread of anyone seen number anyone seen number 33, and he'll leave it at that and wait for a reply.
Interesting. All right. And then you're slapped into the tank, and you'll be in there for a couple hours. And Reggie, you're sitting there getting dressed, getting welcomed back to the world of living by Bento. You look around, you realize where you are. Maybe go get yourself a cup of café and put some clothes on. While Nash, what are you doing?
The camera cuts to Nash trudging outside. He slides the door of the van open, reaches in inside, grabs the guy, throws him over his shoulder, goes back into the building, upstairs to where the hollow deck is at. Kind of lays him out on the floor, goes and looks for like a sturdy wooden chair. Like he maybe even takes the chair out of Bento's desk, out of his office if he needs it. And then, ties the guy down. He's already blindfolded.
The visitor chair.
Yeah. And then, he gets him all lashed down, goes over to the console, kind of starts messing around a little bit, and then realizes, like, I can't fucking program what I want. Fuck, we're going to have to wait for Trae to come out. I was like,
Do you want to look for a preset?
Like Murder Basement, I don't feel like is probably going to be on the preset.
What about one of Reggie's?
No, I'm sorry, you're right.
Preloaded hellscapes.
Yeah, because I want it to be real. Like I want this guy to feel like he's in the
fucking real. It's pretty fucking real.
So yeah, he gives the ropes like one more like check, and then goes down to see, like if it's pre-Trae getting in, then he would just chat with Trae, make sure he's doing okay. If it's post that, then he goes down to try to find Reggie and give him a good once over and see how he's making out.
Okay, I'm just trying to seam together as quickly as possible while changing and retconning as little as possible. So I gave Trae a moment, he gave me an action, and now he's in the tank.
Yep.
I gave you a moment, you gave me an action, and now we're officially in the new span of time. The splice is behind us. So too late to get Trae to custom program anything, but you can either try to do it yourself or take what's behind door number 3 and just wait for the guy to wake up.
So a little column A, a little column B. Like he'll wait for the guy to wake up, but leave him blindfolded, and wait for Trae to come out so he can program it. Like while the guy's sitting there, because he's not going to know the difference. You know what I mean?
That's going to be a few hours. So
Yeah,
I also want to find out what Reggie wants to do. Probably there's some conversation there.
Reggie he did get calf, but he sat down right in the I guess it's the food court area of dark matter, I guess. And he's just sitting.
You woke up in the med lab.
Yes. Oh no, I'm sorry. I thought you said I got up and went to get calf because I would have. I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, yeah, you did. I'm just questioning where you went next.
Oh, after. I mean, I didn't go anywhere. I sat. I just sat down at a table alone, and I'm staring. I'm staring off into the distance, really trying to dive into my vision in my own brain, and I'm trying to collect as much intel as I possibly can about what I saw. I'm really trying to replay it in my head really hard.
Okay.
Isn't that the worst
recall.
when you wake up and you're trying to remember a dream?
Yeah, no, this is bad
Yep.
because this is bad. This is bad. So
Yeah, it's actually even worse than that because he literally suffered brain damage to his corpus callosum in the firefight, and so temporarily his left brain and right brain are separated from each other, unable to communicate. So now his brain is healed again, but it's hard for him to even remember what that state was like. It's hard to bring the memories back that came from a damaged brain in the first place. But you do remember the feeling of something piercing you in the center of your head and shooting all the way through you and then extending like through your whole body, like electric energy shooting through your body. And it did feel exactly like the dream you'd had when you got shot in the head with Orion's arrow.
Yeah,
And so now I think the biggest question in your mind is, what does that mean?
Yeah, I think Reggie's kind of troubled by this because he's also worried about the situation with the kids and the guy that he had in the taxi. He's trying to put something together before he brings it to either Nash's attention or Bento's attention or even Trae's attention, because he wants to be able to kind of make it a coherent thought for the first time maybe in his life.
Yeah, you're going to sound completely insane. In fact, the whole reason that you even were telling the story about Orion's arrow was because you were trying to prove to Trae psychic ability is real.
Yeah, so now I know that Reggie knows how he sounds. Okay, he knows. So this one seems this kind of struck him as a little as serious, because if it has something to do with him either not telling the future, but maybe in a way creating it, that's neither here nor there. He needs to.
Right, Nash. This guy is starting to come to. He shakes his head. He looks around and struggles. Realizes he's bound. Are you just like sitting there in the room waiting?
Yeah, maybe he's like sitting on a chair dicking around with the guy's phone. If he had something like that, just to see, like, you know, if he could get any information out of it, or if it was like locked down. And then the thought on the heels of that is, oh shit, are they fucking tracing this guy? What do I do with this phone? Because we don't want to implicate Bento or Dark Matter. Okay,
well, you do have his phone in your hand, and it looks like his apparent name is Jarkus Exeter. And you can see from a couple of links and shortcuts that he's got. Looks like a contract mercenary.
Okay.
And then you realize, holy shit, what if they're tracking this guy's phone right now?
Yeah. So he looks around to see, and then he tries to think, like, fuck, do we have like some kind of Faraday cage? Like, you know, do we have some sort of a null box that we could like put this in? Like, he flips it and like fucking turns the location off or whatever, but like that doesn't mean anything. If somebody's tracking him, like, that's not really gonna do anything.
There are no Faraday cages in this building.
Okay.
However, Dark Matter does have access to mobile Faraday cages, which are used in mostly military secure locations. In other words, if you could convince Bento, he could requisition it.
Yeah, but it doesn't help me in the moment. Like, if another team is coming to Dark Matter's building right now, that doesn't help.
Yeah, the earliest he could help you would be tomorrow.
So as the guy is sitting there kind of like,
and by the way, you have it. Okay, so 3 hours in the tank for Reggie, probably another 3 for Trae. By the time Trae gets out, it's dawn.
Yeah. All right. So I guess we. Fuck. Yeah. So like he just then like the guy's sitting there in the thing and he's sort of struggling, and then you just hear like the smash of Nash's heel into the phone to break that. because then that'll fix that, and I've already got his name. And then he just like quickly pulls up, like out, like we're in California, so like you said, like redwood forest or like desert scene. So it looks like we're outside somewhere, and he can't tell that we're in a fucking building.
Yeah, you are. You're in the Mojave Desert. There's Joshua trees and big rocks and a large cave mouth over there.
So he just walks up to the guy, rips the.
His chair is sitting in the middle of a dry stream bed, a little flat patch.
So he just rips the blindfold off, and then fucking slaps him. And then before he can say anything, he says, "So Jarkus, tell me why I shouldn't kill you right now." I'm waiting.
You a cop?
Am I a cop? You don't even know who you're trying to kill? What are you, fucking stupid?
Listen, there's a contract out on you. You're probably aware of the details. I wanted to make some money.
He just shakes his head, and he says, "You going after a former military man? You got time in service? Is that where things are for you?"
Look, man, I'm just the fucking drone operator, but I gotta tell you, we almost took your boy. It wasn't really you're after. Nothing personal here. Honestly, I don't know shit about you, and I don't really care. It's that Reggie guy. Somnambula wants him alive, and they're willing to pay big for him. You and your other friend just kind of, in the way.
So like he's kind of like half turned away, sort of like listening to him. And he like takes 2 quick steps up and just fucking clocks him in the face.
Fuck.
And he says, "You know what? It's fucking personal when you try to kill my friend, motherfucker."
Give me a might roll.
Oh shit.
Because this might hurt him. All right, I'm back
How
on.
many dice do I have for that? Oh, three dice. Yeah. So if I'm adding the martial arts, that would be a 6.
Well, that's a question for you.
Yeah, I want to hurt him. I expect some teeth to be spit out on the floor.
The entire chair flies over backwards. His head hits the floor, cracks his head, teeth fly out of his mouth, and there's a little trickle of blood coming from where his head hit the floor. He is out cold again.
He's like, fuck. Damn it. He like fucking kicks his shoe. Shit. He like looks at his watch. Fuck. All right. So like he puts the blindfold back on, like takes the chair back down to the office, throws him back over his shoulder, takes him back downstairs to try to find Reggie.
Oh yeah, all right. That was our interrogation scene.
Fucking fabulous. Excellent work.
Right.
So good.
And bing,
We're professionals.
Your Pop-Tart is ready. Trae, the pod slides open. You feel 100% again.
Oh, get up, do some stretches. Trae is much more flexible than Jesse is.
Fair enough.
I hurt my back a little bit trying to reach down. That wasn't good.
The worst is like when you hurt when you like pull a muscle or something, doing something completely innocuous, just like sneezing or.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and like you're laid up for like a week. Like,
I'm so old that I can't even sneeze now.
Yep.
welcome to the
5
old
days
life.
later. Oh man, my rib still hurts when I coughed.
All right, we're all back together again. Bento is pretty much laid on you everything that he can, but like while Nash is busy in the interrogation scene, Bento can be catching Reggie up on all the same info. So now, Reggie, let's assume that you have now heard the word dreamers. You've heard that you're one of them, and according to Bento's intel, which is covertly listening in on communications between Somnambula and his mercs, there's 10 more. There's a total of 11 dreamers, or at least known dreamers. And Cordoba is seeking them. And you are muted.
Yeah, no, I'm unmuted. I'm just I have to. Okay. Reggie's sitting at the table, and he's just kind of tapping the table sort of restlessly. And his eyes are kind of shooting back and forth as he's contemplating all of this shit. That's really where I'm at right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really trying to commit this room that this guy was in next to the computer, or at the computer hitting the buttons. Just sort of, I'm trying to lock in on it, just detail wise, if that's even possible.
Oh, the fellow from your vision?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I'm all about this vision and all about trying to lock down details of the surrounding area.
Yeah, okay. He actually was not in a room. He was in is it probably the back of a truck or a mobile lab. It was a vehicle though, because you could see out the window. Yes.
Okay, that's right. Okay. All right. All right. I mean, unless someone's coming up to Reggie and trying to get his attention, he's that's what he's doing. He's just I'm trying to get something else to show me, and like, do I recognize the building that I saw blow up? Like, is it?
Yeah. You do not recognize the building. You only recognize the man.
All right. Then what I'm going to do then is,
tells you, by the way, that at least a year ago, right?
Yeah.
He's local. He lives right here in Union City.
And that's what I'm going to think back to where I dropped him off.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to think about the route and all that stuff. That's what I'm going to do. I need to lock this down. And
nice.
Let me go turn that off. I'll be right back. Hold on.
Okay.
Fucking bullshit.
All right. Back to Nash, I guess.
I assume we're all together at this point.
Well, you're kind of like walking back and forth, and Reggie is sitting in the lunchroom staring off into space. And Trae, being Trae, he spends a lot of time staring off into space anyway.
So
it's like
probably once he gets out of the pod, we'll probably wander around and follow the signs to the calf.
And Bento is just kind of like sitting there like this. He's just like watching you go that way with the dude over your shoulder. He's like, and he's watching Reggie go that way to the lunchroom. He doesn't come back again.
Like Nash is like, there's a mess up. I'll try to get up there and get that.
I just love the image of Bento sitting there and watching
that,
Nash
honestly,
goes and gets the go. Okay.
Go ahead.
No, just Nash like goes and gets the chair and then goes to the room and puts it down, then goes back to the van, picks up a body, goes, and then comes back like 20 minutes later with the chair, puts it back, then goes back to the room, then comes back with the body.
Right. And somewhere in the middle, Reggie gets up out of the tank. Bento's talking to him, but Reggie's like not really listening, and he wanders into the break room And now he's
Yeah, good
he's
to see
been
you again.
sitting there for an hour
Yep.
with a
Tapping
coffee.
restlessly.
Now the coffee's gone cold in his hand. He hasn't even drunk
I
it.
know. It sucks anyway, but yeah.
So
All right,
I think
and the sun is beginning to come up, and Bento says to Nash, I'm not particularly worried about that. I'm just wondering where you guys are going to go, what you're going to do. It seems to me like you need to get out of here. This is one of the first places they might look for you.
yeah, I'm sorry if this puts you on Somnambula's. I mean, I guess you're probably already, but yeah, I mean, look, let me grab these guys. We got to find a place to lay low. We've got to make some plans. We'll keep far away from you as possible. I'm thinking maybe we even just jump the fuck out of here for 24 hours and let stuff cool down. But I really got to get with these guys. We got to put our heads together. We need to come up with a good plan.
Got it. Hey, that guy, Lithium
Mhm.
Jones. Still in contact with him?
That's how we found out. He was the one that let us know that this was going on.
Okay, because you might remember that he was involved with that first job way back. I think that he might be useful. I can contact him, and he might be able to get a message to you that would allow us to communicate indirectly.
Yeah, no, that'll work. That's a good idea.
Okay. Then wait for a message from him, and that will mean I've learned something new that you need to know.
All right, cool. Thanks, boss. We appreciate the help.
He smiles when you say boss.
Yeah. All right, let me go grab those guys, and we'll get out of your hair.
All right, where are you guys going next?
I assume we
With your hostage?
jump in the van, and then like I assume they're like getting into the van, like they throw the guy in the back, and sort of close the doors and get in. And Nash turns around and he goes, "What do you guys think?"
I'm sorry. Just point of order. You're gonna have to snap Reggie out of his little trance. I'm sorry.
I'm assuming he's
I'm
like
not just
walking you
like,
out.
I'm just sitting. Yeah, but I'm just sitting, just tapping and staring. That's all he's doing. This
Can
is.
you?
Yeah, okay. So Nash, I'm picturing
sorry.
like Nash walks by Reggie, just sort of like slaps him on the shoulder. Then he walks by Trae, slaps him on the shoulder, and then he goes and to pick up the hostage, and assuming that the other guys will know what the slap on the shoulder means, brings the guy out to the van, throws him into the seat. He sees Trae sitting there, ready to go. Where the fuck is Reggie?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
God
So
damn it!
sorry.
See, watch him. I'll be back in a second. Goes back in.
Turn to the guy, look at him.
Oh, he's starting to wake up now. You're like, he's missing with 4 teeth in front.
He's still blindfolded, right?
Blood. Yeah, he's blindfolded. His mouth is full of like drying blood.
Hack his neural implants, Trae. Hack them all.
So he goes back in and like he grabs like either side of Reggie's head, like turns like, because I guess they didn't really talk, so he like wants to make sure that everything's kind of like okay. So he's kind of like checking him out.
Yeah, I mean, every time you've ever seen anyone get out of the med bay, it's like your DNA is like the reset button has been hit. It's like you didn't even realize that you had some minor aches in your back before. You feel so great now you didn't even realize that you were hurting before. That's how good everybody always feels when they get out. But look at this guy. Doesn't seem to be happy.
So he sits down in the chair next to him and he says, "Reg."
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you with me, buddy? Okay.
No. No, I've got problems now.
I mean, we've got some fucking problems. Is there something else you want to tell me about?
Yeah. I mean, I want to tell you about a lot of things. I saw some stuff, and I'm trying to work through it. I have to find a man.
Like,
And-
is this a light at the end of the tunnel kind of thing? Is that what you're like?
What do you mean? Like a dying thing? Like I see a light?
Yeah, is that what you're telling me?
No, I mean no. I don't mean right now, but I saw a man that I know. I don't know what I saw, but it's happening. It's coming, and now I know that they want me because I know it's coming. Nash, I don't know. I don't know what to do. This is new. This is something new.
Right. We've got to get out of here, right? We'll deal with that on the way. We got to get out of Bento's hair.
Well, oh, right. Yeah. And Reggie gets up slowly, and he will go with you, but he's not. He's staring. He's like zoned.
So like he puts an arm around you and just sort of like then hurriedly guide you out.
It's very comforting. You're very tender and comforting. Who was that guy over your shoulder, by the way?
Oh, that's Jarkus. He's coming with us, at least for now.
Did you call him Jerkus? Yet?
Oh, I didn't. That would have been good though.
Come on. All right. I mean, Jerky, that's right there. It's right there.
It wasn't in my headspace.
All right. Did you at least knock out 3 or 4 of his teeth?
Oh yeah, you better.
Okay, good.
Trae, scanning your networks since you have nothing else to do while you're sitting there in the van waiting. You see that there is a response to your message on the darknet board. The response is 53 equals 86. 53 is the last 2 digits of your Clutch ID number, so that's a reference to you. And 86 is old slang for kicked out.
Oh no.
Damn.
Then there's the shrugging emoticon. That's the whole message.
I'll respond with a thermostat emoji, like a thermometer, and then sun ? Snowflake ? And then like an inquisitive face emoji.
There's something so pure and beautiful about this like language, like just emojis on the dark net.
Yeah.
And then after
the funniest thing about it is in order to make those emojis happen, Trae basically does the thing with his face. Like
That's adorable.
Just like the only time he actually emotes.
Yeah.
It's the show.
It's when he's putting it in a text. Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, I love Trae.
So yeah, when he does that, after that, he'll kind of like kneel down next to the guy in the back of the van and be like, so what kind of hardware or rather software updates have you done to this vehicle?
I'm just in charge of the drones. Are you a coder?
Yes.
He's having trouble talking. He's like, Can you get me some water?
And there's like a whistle
No,
through the holes.
I cannot.
Uh,
Are you aware of any fabrications that have been done to this vehicle
No, I don't think so. This vehicle
thank you.
belongs to
Yes.
Jackson. He's squad leader. Your buddy cut his head off.
Yes. Very well. Thank you. And he'll go up and he'll start rooting around under the dashboard, and he wants to basically see if he can reset the vehicle's computer to factory default, and see if they have any like tracking modifications on it. If they have like an aftermarket GPS tracker or anything like that.
Okay, give me a brains roll modified by programming skill.
Oh. Let's see. That's going to be a 6, 7, 8, 9.
9.
Ooh.
Okay, there's the first yes and of the night. It's totally stock. It's smart, and it does have a GPS system on it, but that's totally stock as well.
Interesting.
There's no special software on this vehicle, and the and is even the communications equipment through which you assume they were receiving the drone signals and ostensibly signals from their commanding officers at Somnambula are using a publicly available open source encryption algorithm. They are not using a Somnambula proprietary algorithm.
Interesting.
Which supports, as this guy seemed to imply, or as his wallet or his phone rather seemed to imply, these guys actually aren't Somnambula employees. They are freelance mercenaries who have been given access to Somnambula drones. They don't own these drones. They're just 3 fucking mercenaries. That's all they are.
All right. Well, all right. So he will still reset the vehicle. But before he does that, he's going to tag the ISP that they well, all right. How about this? Can he I'm assuming that there's like a history, at least a temporary history built into the system just for easy routing.
Possibly.
Would that yeah. So if that does exist, can he pull latest communications history just to tag some of the ISPs that it had connected with?
Okay, brains and programming again.
All right. Oh, that's a 6. I rolled double 3s.
You can pull up information on the last journey that it took.
Yep.
And you can see all of the cell towers that it passed by as it was heading here. You can also see that lining up the timestamps with the communications, the radio log. The only messages received during that time were from the drones and from the first drone, the one that you shot down, which of course stops early in the transcript.
Okay.
You don't see any record of any other radio communication besides them tracking the drones.
Sounds good. All right, but at least we can. So I can. Am I right in assuming then that I could probably backtrack that to find at least a point of origin for the van, or at least like where they started connecting with the drones?
You can only find data on the last leg of the journey, the last usage of the vehicle, basically.
Yep.
And it may be that they factory reset it just before they left.
Yeah.
But you can find the exact block in Union City where the engine was turned on. Yes.
Yep. So that's all I want. So I'll geotag that, and then and then reset the whole system again.
Right on. Okay, so we've got a bleeding, groggy hostage in the back seat. We've got, I'm not sure who's driving. Usually it's Reggie who drives. I don't know if he's in condition to drive right now.
As long as I'm not actually physically impaired at all, I would still be driving. I'm still thinking while driving. But if I'm physically impaired at all, yeah.
The nearest place that's kind of like off the grid would be the Anxious Arms Hotel, where Nash and Reggie stayed for a week or two.
Anxious Arms, or what about? I mean, is taking the Bago out of the question and just kind of disappearing, or what do you think? Is it out of the question? Am I not thinking of something? There's some sort of I can't hear you. There's like a weird. Oh, there you are.
Here I am. So, I mean, we can, but right, it's 24 hours, right? I mean, we could find a place to just get out and talk about everything. But then, I mean, we're coming back. We could go to the Anxious Arms. We gotta ditch these PDAs. Trae, if you could back up whatever information is on here that we might need, contacts, all that kind of stuff. Ditch these so they're not tracking us. I mean, do you think that's a thing, right? I mean, they might be able to do that, you think?
The hostage dude is started to push himself up in the chair. He's looking around. He's not exactly sure where you're sitting, right? You're gonna let me go, right?
Oh no! No, Jerkus! No chance in hell!
I was going to say we hadn't decided, but I guess it's been decided.
But, yeah, well, no, there's a lot more to put him through. I would like to see him alone also.
Holy fuck. And the guy starts kind of squirming in the seat. He's like, you got to let me go. You come on. You got to let me go.
You're fucked, Jerkus. You're fucked. You better have something good to say, because this isn't going to be fun for me at all. So can you imagine what it's going to be like for you if I'm not even going to have fun doing what I'm going to do to you?
When you say that, the guy's voice cracks. He starts just like making this squealing, crying. So you can see he's crying. He falls down out of the chair and he's like trying to like push up against your legs, like he's begging, but he can't because his arms are tied to his sides. He's just pathetic, whining, whimpering, crying lump.
There is no God or being on earth or otherwise or any other reality that is coming to help or save you. There is just me and every single piece of you that I'm going to remove if there's just nothing in your brain for us to use.
He falls down onto the floor on his back, just rolling back and forth, whimpering.
Oh, I'm Reggie, by the way. I'm the guy. Okay, I'm the guy. So you can you imagine? Just imagine. And Reggie just keeps throwing out those like awkward, vague threats.
In between whimpers, the guy keeps saying, "I don't know anything. I have nothing.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know anything.
It sucks for you.
Please. The
van is going faster and faster. And it's getting better and better. Everything sucks for you right now, Jerkus.
Are there seats? So I'm assuming that like Reggie is driving, Nash is shotgun. Are there seats in the back? Like, is there some type of seat that Trae could be in?
Yeah, the van has 2 seats in front, and then a middle section where there could have been seats, but they've been pulled out, and that's just like equipment and shit. And then a rear bench. That runs across it.
All right, yeah. So so I'm assuming the guy is laying on the ground in the back.
Yeah.
Trae is in one of the bench seats, and like as the van. Oh yeah. Okay.
Because Reggie's driving, right? Mm-hmm. So the guy when he hits the ground, he starts squirming towards Reggie. He's like trying to push himself up against the driver's chair, like groveling against Reggie's knees or as close as he can get to Reggie's knees.
If he, all right. If he like, so Trae, as it like starts going faster, will strap himself in. But if he sees that the guy is now like almost a threat, like if he actually gets a hold of Reggie, then it might be a threat.
Well, he's bound. It's hard for him to be.
But if he can get under like Reggie's foot and somehow disrupt his, even by accident,
it's conceivable.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, he's gonna like unstrap himself and then walk over and like grab the guy by the ankle and just drag him back, and then just like punch the side of his knee.
Don't knock him out.
Forearm, just like slamming into his knee, just to like cause him a lot of pain and hopefully make him stop moving.
Trae, don't knock him out. He needs to be alive and conscious. He just needs to be. Don't knock him out.
He makes a squeaking sound and he curls up into a ball and then he shuts up.
Please stay there.
Well done.
Reggie slows down a little bit.
So like Nash leans over to Reggie, realizing like already the faux pas of like, hey, we're gonna stake the anxious arms in front of the fucking guy that tried to kill us. And, look, we're not stay there now, right? Like,
no, it's called it's disinformation. He says that out loud.
Are we killing him? Like, are we gonna kill him?
I would really like to take my pound of flesh from him. I did not enjoy that whole encounter at all. And now I've got all this other shit floating around in my head that I've got to get to the bottom of now. And then he's like in the unenviable position of being the target of all my aggression at this very moment. So well done bringing him into this because we're going to get something out of him. So now, like disinformation, whatever we're going to it's. What do you if you want to whisper it into my ear, you can, but we can go somewhere else. But I figured, he can't get anything out to anyone, right, Trae? Trae, can he get anything out to anyone?
Unless and I'll look over at him. Does he have any, I should have asked this before, but does he have any kind of sign of enhancements or any implants?
No signs of implants. No.
Okay.
I can pull over. Do you want me to cut out?
I saw him using the tablet earlier.
In fact, since you're looking, he does have signs of augmented contact lenses. His irises are sort of a golden color, which is not a real human color.
I would very much enjoy cutting out his lenses.
Is that an indication of a specific enhancement, a specific augmentation that he might have? Or
no, it's very, very common. It's very common.
Okay.
Like if you participate in modern society, you use some sort of augmentation, visual augmentation, some of the time, right? Mm-hmm. Most people, it's glasses. But if you have the money, or if you're vain enough, contacts.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just wondering if it kind of corresponds to a specific type of upgrade. But if it's not necessarily color coded, but you know, all right, sounds good.
It's not like that. All that it really indicates is that this guy or someone on his behalf spent some money on some good eyes for him.
Yeah, sounds good.
So Nash just, well, as I say, Nash just says we need to deal with this first before we can finish. So if you want to find a spot, then let's.
Yeah, say I'll go back, and I'm assuming probably the guys like blindfold kind of came off while he was struggling. So I'll go back and kind of tie it back on and make sure that the knot's a little extra secure, and then go up front and be like, it is possible. He does have an augmentation that it is a possibility he has been recording us.
So you're saying it's okay
while he could see.
So I could take his eyes out.
Yes.
You hear that, Jerkis? Jerkis! Your eyes are mine.
I do not believe that is his name, Mr. Reggie. That is perhaps why he is not responding to you.
That's fine. I don't need him to respond. He doesn't have to respond to me. He just needs to listen to what I'm saying. That's it. That's all he needs to know is what I'm saying. And
you can't blame me for this. It's just a job. I'm not even the fucking leader. I'm not even the leader. I'm just one of the helpers.
Well, if they didn't tell you that this was part of the job, then you know that's on you.
You can't blame this on me, man. This is Jackson's fault. He took the job. Fuck him. Fuck him. And you realize that. Remember last time when you tried to lucid dream and make something bad happen inside the van?
Yes.
This is the guy whose head you got into. Right. And he said, "Fuck you, Jackson." Well, he is still angry at Jackson. He's like, "This is all Jackson's fault. You want it's Jackson's van. Keep the fucking van. Jackson's an asshole, man. You know what? I can tell you where it is. I'm sure you can find something else. I'm sure he's got weapons. I'm sure he's got explosives. Will you let me go?"
All right. Listen, does he have a family?
I don't think he has a family. I don't think he has a family, man. No.
Really? Okay, tell me everything you know about Jackson. Everything. I want every detail. And then tell me about your family.
He lives on the Yellow Sunshine block of Derova in Union City. That's where we would meet with him, and he also deals drugs, and that's his place. That's his place there.
What the fuck are you doing running around with a guy like that, jerk? It's
a job. It's a job, man.
Shut up. I don't want it. No.
30, you're worth 30 megabucks.
Oh, no. I mean, oh, no. I know what I'm worth. Jerkis. Okay. You said what? The yellow what district?
Yellow Sunshine Block.
It's the Yellow Sunshine Block in Derova.
Thank you, Nash. Yellow Sunshine Block in Derova. Excellent. Do we know where that is?
Okay, brains rolls for everybody. -2 for Nash, because you're not a city boy. And
it's gonna be
+1 for Trae, because you do live.
Could I just Google it?
Yeah, actually, you can, but you might already know it.
There you go.
Yeah, Nash got a 4.
That's a 5.
I'm at a 6 because I'm a taxi. I drove a taxi.
That's
why I rolled a 6.
So Trae sends off one of his little minions, which comes back with the answer. But actually, Reggie gets the answer first. You remember this is a flashback. This dude, it's a sector of Derova, which is an unincorporated part of the city. It's a squatter town. It's full of tenement buildings and buildings that have been declared derelict, but people are still squatting in them. There's like overcrowded, fested conditions. This is a bad part of town, and it's where that guy had you take him. The other thing, Yellow Sunshine, that's actually the name of the gang that owns that part of town. They own that block.
Hold on. Where is it? I'm trying to think of my shit. I didn't write it down. I didn't transfer it over to my digital sheet. Was the name of my Comanaprazole dealer.
Oh, his name is Clarence.
Clarence. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Clarence was a member of the Yellow Sunshine Gang, was he not? Was he not?
Man, that's a deep cut.
No.
No, he wasn't. That's
Clarence,
fine. Yeah.
Clarence told you a story about the Yellow Sunshine Gang.
Did
because he's terrified of them. Yeah, if you cross them, they cut your eyes out.
Oh, did you hear that, Jerkus? Oh, you couldn't have heard that. That was in my own head. All right. Now, Yellow. So he told me he's afraid that he cut your eyes out. Yellow Sunshine Gang. Okay.
Yeah, and that Jackson, who is the dude who you killed, who's a leader of this little group of mercs. He lives there, which means he's probably a member of the gang.
Oh. Hey, Jerkus, was he in that gang? You know what gang I'm talking about. Was he in it?
Big time.
What does that
mean,
big time?
I mean, he was important. I mean, he had soldiers under him. Yeah, I was one of them.
What the fuck is a merc doing with a gang in fucking Derova?
It's where he was raised. It's where he had a lot of connections. We met up on a kind of a random job, and after that, it was just convenient to keep working together. I mean, he met Macro in the same way. Look, man, I'm just a poor kid from Union City. I fell in with some bad people.
That means nothing. That's nothing. What you're saying is nothing.
I'm just a drone operator. I'm just a drone operator.
Oh, you were the one whose head I was in. I was trying to make you my own personal drone. Did you feel me?
What?
Did you feel me trying to get in there? Come on.
What do you talk? What?
Yeah, I heard you talking to Jackson. I heard you yelling at him. You said, fuck you, Jackson. Yeah.
You heard me.
Oh, I was you. I was you for a few moments.
Dude, I don't know what the fuck is going on. This is freaking me out. You're freaking me out.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you a question about Jackson here real quick. So what would you say his loyalty overall comparatively to Somnambula versus the Yellow Sunshine Gang?
He did a lot of jobs for Somnambula. They're a good source of work. Sometimes they wanted people snatched up off the street. Sometimes they wanted people that couldn't be traced. Okay. Other times they wanted us to get specific information, like people's lives, like what time they went to sleep and where they slept, and a lot of information about sleeping.
All right. What about sleepy or sleeping? What'd you say?
I just do what I'm told. Okay.
Oh, no,
I never talk to anybody from Somnambula. I never talk to anybody.
You're a good soldier, and I understand that. I don't want to know anything about what you may or may not have said to Somnambula. What I want to know is about Jackson.
They pay good money, and Jackson would give me a cut. And most of the time, all we had to do was just report on a person's life and whereabouts. Like casing them, figure out when they're awake and when they're asleep, and report that information.
Yeah. How about would you say that the Yellow Sunshine Gang is working with Somnambula? Like, do they have a good working relationship, Jerkus?
We did a lot of jobs for Somnambula, but maybe at Jackson's place. Maybe there's more information.
So I'm totally on board with going to Jackson's place, Nash, but I also am a little wary if the Yellow Sunshine Gang is like, oh, we love Jackson, and then we roll up there being the ones who've killed him.
They do love Jackson. He's OG. He's big time.
Okay, so we're just going to have to tell them that you killed him and that we're returning you for some sort of bounty.
No.
No. That's what it is. So
you can't do that.
Well, Well, that's what it is. So we're moving on from that. That's just your fate. But we'll go to Jackson's. Nash, is that what do you think? We'll do some reconnaissance.
Yeah, I mean we can, but not in this van. I mean,
No. We'll ditch the van. Right. Okay. So you know what? Hey, Trae, we're gonna need some sort of a place to ditch the van. Hey, stop Reggie at any point because he's just off he's just off. He's off right now. He's just like he's in another.
Let me just throw a thought out there to you. Okay, getting into the neighborhood would actually be probably easier in this van. It's getting out that's actually the problem.
yeah.
Right? Am I reading that right?
If Trae does like an overlay of the location tracking that he did previously on the van, he has the route from basically where it first got turned on.
Mhm.
Does that correspond?
Oh, right the fuck here, baby.
Yeah. All right.
Yep. Yeah, it's a parking lot behind a warehouse on the Yellow Sunshine block.
All right. Yeah. So say the information that I was able to get from the van in its prior locations on this current journey does indeed line up with and he'll look over at the guy and then look back Jerkis's information.
Thank you, Trae. Okay, cool. So, I mean, are we good?
I believe that we should be okay arriving in this vehicle.
Okay, all right. We can deal.
I mean,
with
if
that.
we can find proof that
The vehicle is,
Somnambula-
theoretically, the vehicle is a familiar sight in the neighborhood.
Right, exactly,
So you can get pretty close before they realize that you're not Jackson.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if we can get into Jackson's place, which maybe we can. I mean, we can for sure, right? Like it's a matter of whether or not we get into a firefight. But if we can find information there that Somnambula is hiring gang members to snatch people off the streets, to spy on people, this guy might be more used to us if we keep him.
Oh no, we're gonna keep him because listen, Jerkis can totally get into Jackson's place. I know we can get into Jackson's place, can't you, Jerkis?
I
can tell you every job. I can tell you every job. I know.
You can tell us so
every
much.
block, every house, every address. I don't know. I don't know the names, but I know the places.
Mm-hmm.
Jerkis, what is Jackson's name? Full name?
Elias Jackson.
Elias.
It's a strong name. It's a strong name.
I want to do a quick search and see if I can find what Jackson's wake looks like, and see if I can find any type of information as to maybe where he lives.
Did you say wake?
Wake.
Yeah.
His data wake. Yeah.
Data wake.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like the wake. Like
no.
I wasn't sure
he's burnt. Like he's gone.
Yeah, but his homies don't know he's dead yet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I just wanted to say, close relations and any social media accounts he has. Like mugshots are public information. So if there's any of those out in the system.
Okay. Straight brains roll.
And unless I want to actually break into the system,
right?
That's going to be 4 total if we're not adding any skill mods.
You find a couple public pages. They're actually not hard to find. You find that he is in fact single. He is pansexual. There are a lot of photos of his well-developed physique. Fully nude, sometimes oiled up, looking for random sexual partners seems to be most of what he spent his online time doing.
God bless him.
Yeah. Is there any, how like when you search yourself, you can find like like last known addresses and phone numbers and all that garbage. Does he have any known addresses or places of contact?
Again, you're not hacking here, so
Nope, yeah.
you can't you don't find anything like an actual address, but you do see some photos of him and his fellow gang members like hanging out in various alleys and a warehouse with a parking structure. Oh, there's the van. There's one photo with a picture of the actual parking structure with the van in the background.
Sounds good.
And you've got Elias, Macro, who's the second guy who was shooting at you out in the forest, and Jarkus and 3 other guys. And they're all like posing like some kind of action shot or something. And the van is clearly visible in the background.
Fucking bros. They're just like broing out, huh?
They're broing out. Yeah.
Gross. It's gross. A bunch of oiled up bros just being all oily.
I mean, this isn't any more dangerous than anything else that we're doing today, right? I mean,
Oh yeah, you can notice one other thing, that out of all these guys, Jarkus here is the only one who's not majorly jacked up.
Mm-hmm.
He's the brains guy.
He's the brains. He's Sponge. Yep.
So Jerkins, you're like the pet. You're just like the pet.
I'm good with computers, man. What do you want me to say?
I want you to confirm
So
you're their pet.
Look, man, I earned my rank.
So yeah, Trail
Actually, his
like,
voice gets
kneel
very
down.
serious. There's
Yeah.
some sort of hierarchy, and he feels very self-conscious about his place in it.
Yep.
Okay,
Trail kneel down next to him and be and say, unfortunately, the other members of your group are dead. By extension, if we are playing to the rank of the group, by default, you are now the head.
Congratulations, Jerkins. You've been promoted.
Dude, don't be dumb. I'm not the head of the gang. I'm just the last survivor of that one fucked up mission.
Yes, exactly.
So modest and humble.
However, that puts all of the responsibility of the failure on your shoulders now.
What are you trying to say, man? This is my fault?
I suggest that you work with us so that we can possibly save you the humiliation and or repercussions of this failure.
Can I have some water?
He'll look over at Reggie.
I mean, no. There's no water. Is there water in Jackson's place?
just give him the water. Like
Right.
Nash will start rooting around in the van. I'm sure there's like a couple like half-empty bottles or whatever from when they were staking shit out. He passes it back
actually,
to
there's extra guns. There's extra ammo. There's a partly disassembled drone. There's some food. There's some water. There's a lot of electronics. There's a first aid kit. There's a lot of shit here.
Nash, I'm sorry. You sort of established yourself as the bad cop in the situation, and I've sort of just kind of like bullied my way into it. I feel terrible about it. If you want to switch up, I'll try to be a good cop. I can try to just switch it up.
No,
I don't know. I think you've pretty much taken over the role at this point.
Yeah, but like, imagine if I just switched it up all of a sudden. All of a sudden, I was good cop. I fucked up
Bad
with that
cop,
name.
special ops segments.
It's like, no, dear, you thought that was the team. You're still in prison. He's the real bad cop. I'm the nice one.
or maybe
Now I
it's
imagine
worse.
Nash is the bad cop that'll smack your head while he's putting you in the car, but then Reggie is the really bad cop that will break your leg and throw you in a ditch.
Oh, I don't know. As far as this guy's concerned, Nash drove him out to the desert, woke him up, knocked him out again, took him back to the city.
This guy doesn't know where he is. Oh, God.
True.
so look, Reg,
No, it's fine.
we're
You're right.
going to need this guy, right?
You're right.
Like,
You're right.
if we're going to get into Jackson's place, then he might be the key. And, you know, he just says to him, he says, look, if if we're going to do this, you're coming with us. And when we leave, you're coming with us until I can figure out what the fuck to do with you. Because you're more useful to me alive now than you're going to be dead. Although that would make me feel so much better.
What do you want me to do?
Well, figure it out when we get there, I guess.
So you know what? Start thinking about all the things you can do, and itemize it, and in like perceived importance. You're a smart guy. You know what we're looking for. So just kind of like think to yourself for the remainder of the ride, and just prioritize.
You're gonna have to let me drive.
You're
gonna have to let me drive.
It's hilarious that he said that.
Dude,
Nash, it's your call.
They'll spot you in the driver's seat 2 blocks away.
What do they got? Eyes on the whole block?
He points at his eyes.
So you're saying your eyes are dangerous to us, so you don't.
Rich, they're all augmented.
That's
Come
fine.
on, man.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
That's one gold. It's the yellow. Come on.
You're
man.
right. You're right. I know. Sorry.
Fuck. Shit.
You want me to help you get in there? This is how we do it. You guys just fucking stay down. I'll pull right into the warehouse. You let me go, yeah? You let me go then?
No, you're coming up to the apartment with us.
Yeah, no, this isn't okay.
Because we let you go, and then you go grab the gang, and then kill us in Jackson's apartment. How fucking stupid do you think I am?
I swear, I won't do that.
Yeah, because your word is good for anything.
He's just not on the same page, all reading the same book. So,
can you at least untie me?
I don't know if
I'm gonna have to drive.
I mean, here's the thing, Reg. We let him drive, and if he fucks up, we just shoot him in the car. Like it literally makes no difference.
Right, but then we're sort of like sitting ducks, you know. So I'm trying to find other options. I'm trying to think of other ways because we can't give him control of any aspect of this, you know, just anything.
Okay. Brains rolls for everybody, and +1 for Trae.
Can I like assess this with combat tactics to like try to figure out like the best approach to this, like from a tactical standpoint?
Maybe, but you're not actually sure of any enemy positions at this moment.
Well, more like, you know, so is it,
you know, in like general tactics approaching an urban combat scenario, yes. But specific tactics, like you don't know if there's snipers on the roof or bombs in the basement or what.
Yeah, no, not that. But like,
I mean, honestly, we're rolling in. We're rolling into enemy territory at this point.
No, but I'm thinking more along the lines of like, do I think it's okay to let him drive? Like, what are the, you know, what's the positive, negative if I let him drive, right? Because again, if you're
crouched down, you know, in the floor of the passenger seat with your gun pointed right at him, there's no way he can get out faster than you can shoot him.
Yeah. Okay, all right.
I mean, I think we've gotten a pretty general. Yeah,
he's already taken 2 hits. The next hit kills him. Just meta for a minute.
Right.
He's
like, and I'm pretty like we've gotten a pretty good read on the guy. He doesn't want to die. So, and he knows for a fact, like,
no, in fact, he's a little bit of a little bitch.
If he puts our lives in danger, he's gonna die.
Well, no, my thought
so
was
if
just
we don't get out, he doesn't get out.
Right. Can we be saying this stuff out loud in front of him? Right.
Oh yeah.
But my thought was like, tactically, does it make sense to let him drive? Like, you know, if we get like, you know, where, like, do I think we can get from the warehouse to the apartment? How many, you know, like he would ask the guy, like, how many guys are like typically hanging
the guy's
around?
muttering something under his breath, and you like lean in. You're like, what? What's that, Chirkus?
What'd you say?
He's
You
whispering the Lord's Prayer. He's praying.
Oh no. Jerkis.
He's just over and over again.
I got a pair of threes on a brains roll.
Yeah, I got a 3 in the brains roll.
Trae?
I have a 6 total.
Yeah,
Five.
Trae's. I don't know if this is something that you like want to do, but this is something that occurs to you because the whole question of like driving in this van seems like a tactical bonus, but getting out with the van seems like it's going to be a problem. And it's very easy for Trae to think, well, why don't I just call the Applegini here and have it ready for us?
Yeah.
But would that draw too much, like a super shiny souped up car like that driving into that kind of neighborhood? Would it still have its wheels by the time
you would not want to leave it sitting unattended for long, but if you had it hurry to your location.
If I had it sitting, like if we had it sitting outside of the
Derova.
area and I could time it of like, all right, well, it took us like 6 minutes to get up the stairs to the apartment. So by the time we're coming down, I should have it leave now and we could get to it right about then.
Yeah, Derova's a pretty big district. It's like 10 miles across, but that doesn't take much time for a performance vehicle.
Exactly, especially when lights in stop signs aren't a consideration.
Not at all.
I don't want to throw a thing, but what condition is it in? Was Nash off-roading that?
No, he didn't go off-road.
He did. Okay, good.
He chose not to go off-road. He chose to save the Applegini suspension rather than our lives.
Exactly, but we don't know that.
He did actually go off-road, but he was being kind of careful about it. But there were warnings from the dashboard, and the moment he jumped out of the car, it came to a stop because it recognized it was not where it was supposed to be.
Okay. It saved itself.
So when you suggest that, he's like, maybe just call an Uber, yeah? Like, I don't think the Applegini's gonna make it down here, right? Like,
it will make it.
Yeah, no, just try an Uber. Black SUV, right? Like, I think that's gonna fit the set a little bit more.
And Trae will nod his head, and then he'll call the Applegini.
How about you call the Bago and you have it put the machine gun turrets up?
I'm not linked into the Bago yet, unfortunately.
Oh no, you're not?
Never.
Not
Nope. Never.
Okay.
No. Never linked into that one yet.
Can I? So, like, now that we've decided we're going, then Nash would try to get some information out of the guy, and he tries to like switch tactics a little bit. He would like to reassure him a little bit with psychology, then to be like, all right, look, if you help us get in and out of here, maybe we could work something out. But like, he tries to schmooze him a little bit. And then, like, how many guys are we looking at? How far is the apartment from the warehouse? Is there like a back way in?
Maybe we have a spot open on our team. I mean, maybe Jerkis wants to join us,
This is going to be a piece of shit to edit.
Sorry about that. These two cats hate each other, and they're both in here.
Yeah. Did you catch any of that then?
I did catch most of it. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a spot open on our
team. You want to use psychology and sort of butter the guy up a little bit.
Yeah, kind of like switch tactics a little bit. Be like, hey, look, help us help you. Like. If you're, we'll let you live if you help us find what we need. But, the minute you try something, like he's just trying to switch tactics of like, we're going to just completely murder you like as soon as we get the chance to like, well, if you're helping us out, then like, maybe we can let this slide sort of thing. We killed your other two guys, like, maybe this will bump you up in your gang sort of thing. But like it ends today. Like this is it.
Yeah, at the
We
very
see
least,
you again.
keep
and-
your testicles.
Yeah, the whole gang is gone.
Okay, and I'll say, so the goal of this is
Just kind of like reassure the guy, so like to improve our chances of him not fucking us over, I guess. Like he looks really bad, and we're probably gonna kill him. Like, like you said in a meta sense, like another shot's probably gonna take him out. But like, try to reinforce the situation of like maybe you still get out of this if you're gonna not fuck around.
right. Okay, so yeah, go ahead, you can use brains or psychology. Add your psych skill. I'm also giving you a +1 for superior position.
Ooh.
Nice. Oh, that's gonna be a 6. That's gonna be a 9.
Baby.
+2,
Whoa.
+1.
Wow. You would have succeeded even if that maneuver was ridiculous. You would have pulled off a yes, but even if it was absurd. You could have told him to cut his penis off and he might do it. He swears to you. I swear to you. I swear on my allegiance. I took an oath to this gang and I tear it up. I take an oath to you. Please just let me live. I will do whatever you tell me to do.
And he hears like the shuffling as like Nash unbuckles and gets to the back of the car. He pulls the blindfold off and he's like holding the combat knife in front of him. And he just reaches, like starts to go towards him and just cuts the fucking rope.
Thank you. And the first thing he does is he grabs that water bottle. Like, he lost a bunch of teeth. He was already bleeding from before. Now it's like dried, crusty blood, like all over his face and in his mouth and everything. It's like hard to understand what he's saying. So he's swallowing and like spitting out blood into the ice bucket. They got an ice chest. He's spitting out bloody water into the ice chest. And he's thanking you over and over. You won't regret this. You won't regret this. I know I can get us in there. You guys just trust me until we get inside. When I give the word, fall out.
All right. Act like your life depends on it.
You're coming with us, though. He's not just gonna like drop us off and stay. You know what? We'll deal with that when we get there.
I'll take you into the building. I'll take you up to his front door.
Yeah.
Can I go then?
No.
When we leave, you can leave.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Okay. You got it, sir.
Get us out safe, and then we can keep your testicles.
I understand, sir. He's decided to call you all sir.
Reg, pull over. We're gonna swap him out, and then
Sure.
He like reaches down for like a fucking rag'em, so they have like rags and shit in the fucking van with all their gear. He says, "Clean your face up."
All right, and Jarkus cleans his face up. You've now come close to the boundary of Derova with Sunridge, and that means you're probably about 2 miles away from the Yellow Sunshine block. You are, let's say we pull over to the side of the highway, just at the border of Derova.
All right,
It's just a few blocks. It's just a few blocks straight down this way, and then 1 block over.
Okay.
All right, take it nice and easy then.
Yes.
Get down. Like we have our weapons still, so like Nash will look for like a bag that they can throw shit in, but he's got a fucking pistol like right in his fucking rib.
I think I lost my +1 long gun. I got
I got you a new one.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, that's okay. All right, cool. Let me put that back in my inventory then.
Okay, he starts driving you into the city. Like as soon as you get off the main highway, like the change is drastic and immediate. Suddenly, it's like you've driven into like the worst slums in the most overcrowded parts of I don't know, like Hong Kong, where there's like 15, 20 people living in each little crammed apartment, and they're all shoved into these gigantic tower structures that once were supposed to be revolutionary new experiments in arcology living. But when the economic collapse happened about a decade ago, this sector was particularly bad hit. All these investments went sour. All of these arcologies, most of them were left only partly finished. And as the years went by, people who had no other option just began moving in. It's now like one of the most densely populated places on Earth. And as you, the streets get narrower. There's wires and ropes and stuff like strung across the streets in weird angles. You see one guy sitting on his porch, pedaling a bicycle, which is connected to a large battery. So like not only is there no net here, there's no GPS, there's no dependable radio signal, there's your senses have just gone completely blank. There's nothing here. They're even like pedaling bicycles to generate electrical power. That's how like derelict this entire place is. The parts of the building are like paint is just peeling off, and some places where the walls have like sagged and fallen in, and nobody even bothers repairing it. You see dirty children running around playing in the alleyways and shit. But it's surprisingly quiet when you get to the Yellow Sunshine block. Just looks like a normal slum block. No armed presence, no snipers on rooftops. Just a bunch of really, really crappy looking, dingy, overcrowded apartment buildings and some, like a sort of a weird little convenience store, a laundromat. You don't even see police presence of any kind.
That's no surprise.
Yeah.
Nash just says to him,
not even bots, not even drones.
Nash is like, do once around the block, make sure nothing's out of order.
Yes, sir. You got it, sir. He drives once around the block. You recognize this building photograph. You see the parking lot in the back. It's a 2-story parking structure. In the photograph, the van was parked up on the second level. He says that's usually where we park, so we should probably like do that.
Yep,
Avoid attention.
Yep.
So he takes it up to the second level. You encounter no one while getting up to the second level. He stops the car. He points straight ahead. There's a door that leads into the building. It looks like a down. Underneath you, or not quite underneath you, but like next door, adjoining this parking structure, is a 2-story warehouse building. You haven't seen the inside of it yet by having driven around it. You can tell it has long, tall windows, not 2 rows of short, narrow windows. In other words, it looks like it's one high ceilinged warehouse, not 2 stories.
Mm-hmm.
He parks the vehicle. He points at the door. He says, we go in there. Now, there's probably going to be some other people in there, but his room is 3 doors down to the right, just through that door.
All right, well, come on, lead the way.
Maybe you guys want to maybe hang back just a little bit. I'm just saying, in case I meet somebody.
Yeah,
Look,
you just.
I told you could trust me, okay?
A couple of steps, maybe.
Okay. He shakes himself off and begins walking slowly toward the door. You guys, I imagine, strap up.
Mm-hmm.
Are weapons in hand?
No. So like I think rifles like in a bag, right? Like in a zipped bag. Like if they're coming back from like, hey, these guys helped us out with this mission sort of thing. Like we're gonna go put all Jackson's shit back and we're meeting him at the bar, like whatever the excuse is. So like we've got a bag, at least a bag, and then like he's got probably a shoulder holster, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm assuming we all have some gear that allows us to wear in public. So
yeah, Trae has the shoulder holster, and then he'll have like he has like a black zip up hoodie.
I mean, I assume you've all got. I assume you've all got holsters. I was just asking if they're actually in your hand.
I don't think so.
Not in the hand, no.
All right. He opens the door. He looks left. He looks right. He looks back at you. He says, "I don't see anybody yet. Let's hurry." He goes in. He makes a quick right. Okay, you are on the like a sort of a. I don't want to say catwalk because it's not metal. It is actually like a paved terrace, patio, whatever. But it runs all the way around the inner perimeter of this warehouse, and there are individual rooms which you now see that they're actually offices, or they were once intended to serve as offices, but they've been turned into dwelling units, and there's people like strung their laundry out like across the railings, and there's all sorts of you do see some people moving around down in the floor below. Some people are playing some kind of game. There's one guy wearing a VR headset. He's sort of wandering around with his arms extended. Nobody's looking up at you. So he takes you down 3 doors to the right, points at the door.
Anything we got to worry about behind this door?
He lives alone.
Does he keep this trapped, booby trapped? I mean, you guys are mercenaries after all.
That's a good point. I doubt it.
You got a key?
No.
Trae will go up to try to hack the lock system and then realize that it's all manual.
No, actually, Trae, you do realize that you don't know how to hack a lock system, but as you cycle through your available networks, you do see one.
I imagine like he usually has like 2 or 3 or 4 windows open. And like all of them are black, so he's just minimized everything. But then like his daily feed one, like suddenly there's like a little boop, and he's like, "Can he?"
You're gonna open that layer?
Yeah.
Okay, so you open that layer, and what that means is that a new transparency is laid over the reality that you see. You're in a like a purple jungle on top of a hill, and over to the left and down you instinctively turn because you hear the sound of something large like crashing through the trees. It's a giant ape, and it's headed right toward that guy who's down there he's wearing his VR helmet. He's now like holding what to you appears to be a laser crossbow device of some kind. And you are in his VR game. He must have a portable hotspot somewhere in this building.
God damn, he just so wants to just walk around and try to find that.
Gotta be close, right?
All right, hold on one second.
Okay, so Trae is gazing out over the patio and down toward the guy with the VR helmet. Meanwhile, Jarkus tries the door, and it turns.
So Nash kind of like So, like, I assume Jarkus is like in front of the door. Nash is sort of behind him. So Nash just kind of takes a step over and he says, "After you." Assuming if there's like a shotgun set up or a fucking, whatever, like.
He quickly slides the door open, looks inside. He doesn't seem to see anything, and he steps in.
Step in after him.
All right.
Yep.
As he steps in, his arm goes in and, like, pulls out the pistol as they enter the room.
Okay. Inside here, it used to be an office, and so there is a desk, but a mattress has been laid on top of the desk, and there's a bunch of personal gear, pants, shoes, shirts. There's only one electronic device in the room, and it's a dream deck.
All right, so Nash just starts to make an assessment of the room. He's like, "Trae, grab that. Reggie on the desk." Nash over to the bed, starts lifting shit, pulling stuff out. We're looking for data. We're looking for paperwork.
Do dream decks require an internet source?
No.
No? Okay.
Not according to the product description. Yeah, you do. You find a tablet between the mattress and the desk.
I grab that. He doesn't even look at it. He just grabs it and sticks it in a fucking pocket bag, whatever.
Okay.
Does there appear to be anything else of consequence? Does he have?
We're tossing the place.
Yeah, anything useful? I mean, it's not like we couldn't get stuff if we needed it. Although if he did have explosives, that might be helpful with the whole Cordoba thing.
Okay, so brains roll for everybody.
Okay.
Ooh, 5.
4.
Who got the 6?
I did.
That section of wall looks suspicious. You knock on it. It sounds suspicious. You press around the edges of it until you find a latch, and it slides down. There's a little sort of a hiding space back here. You find another dream deck, a couple boxes. One of them has cables spilling out of it.
He kind of like kicks it over to, like, not like kicks it, but like shoos it over to Trae. Is like, "Is this anything?" You don't walk out of here with a box of wires if it's not useful.
And you find a little notebook, like a pocketbook sized.
Yep, in a pocket.
Fake leather notebook.
Yep, grabs it. He might thumb through it real fast, but like we're trying to move with some speed and efficiency. Get the fuck out of here.
Okay, there are note identification numbers and names in this notebook. This looks like it might be his contacts list. And he's not real clever, and he's not using code. He's just kind of writing in incomplete sentences and hard to read characters.
Is there anything else in that room?
Just normal shit, clothing. There are some weapons. He's got, a couple of handguns. He's got a collection of knives. Oh, another thing that you find in the hidey hole.
Yeah, the hidey hole. Yeah.
There are a bunch of data spheres.
Take them all
in a little box. There's like a dozen of them in a little box.
Oh yeah.
And most of them are labeled, and each one has a name. It's like a person's name, like a human name.
What was the thing with all the wires that Nash kind of kicked out?
When you pull the lid off that box, you see a lot of wires leading to like batteries and adapters, and at the bottom a smaller black box that looks kind of sleek and expensive. When you open that up, there's a very small camera system, which can be like hidden easily, like inside a potted plant or what. So it's like a surveillance system.
Yep.
I would say grab that too. I don't know if it has the ability to record, but we can figure it out later.
Yeah.
These data spheres, is there any, depending on how many there are there any familiar names?
There are 12 of them. There are no familiar names. And only 7 of them have names. The other 5 are blank.
Trey's gonna walk out of the room and try to see if he can find where the mobile hotspot is. I think now is about a good time to get a hold of the Applegini. See where it's at.
Out onto the terrace?
Yep.
The catwalk that I called?
Yep. Yeah.
Well, is he still connected in the room? Does he have to go out, or is he? I mean, he's accessing the game, right? So is he on the system?
Well, that's the thing. The guy is on the first floor, and so he has a hotspot somewhere. So I was like linked to that guy. So clearly, so it has to be somewhere near that guy for me to.
But I'm saying,
basically,
you see
around the time you entered the door of the building, or somewhere between there and 3 doors down, you entered the radius of the hotspot.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is you're already connected. So there shouldn't be a need for you to physically, like, you're linked to
Well, no,
it, right?
not
So you're
physically. So I was wondering, like, in me walking into the room, did I get, like, I just assumed that I walked, like, away from the signal. But if I'm still connected to it, then that's, yeah.
The signal is starting to degrade.
Mm-hmm.
So you're right at the boundary.
All right. Yeah, so I'll walk a little closer and just see, like, just probably outside the door just to get a little bit more signal. And I told the Applegini to, like, come near our location but then circle within a couple of blocks. So how close is it right now?
You have to actually step through the door and out onto the walkway to be back in range. When you do that, you see the virtual world come into high resolution again. Mm-hmm. And you're just starting to look through the image to see the real warehouse and get your bearings on where exactly you're standing.
Yep.
When somebody down from this floor shouts, "Hey, you! Are you the gun guy? Down here!"
And he'll kind of look around a little and then just make, like, eye contact with the guy.
Okay, so there's 2 guys down there. The one who's shouted out is the larger one of the 2. They both have mohawks. They have like tattoos all over their bodies, and neither one's wearing a shirt. They're both kind of sweaty, like they've just been working out or something. And the big guy says, "Jackson's not here. Come on down."
Yes, I was here for Jackson.
Yeah, well, he's out for a while, bro. I'm Jesus. I run this place when he's gone. Come on down here. Okay, and at
he kind of just freezes for a moment.
Okay, at the sound of Jesus's name, your boy Jarkus looks up and he's like, "Oh fuck." He's whispering to Trae. You can buy time for a minute. Tell him you're the gun guy. You left the shipment outside, and then we can just bail.
And he'll kind of
He hasn't
glance
seen
at
you.
Jarkus.
He hasn't seen you, and he hasn't seen you.
Yeah, he'll kind of glance at Jarkus over, from side-eyed, and then step back over, be like, "I will get the shipment from outside and meet you downstairs."
Right. Come down those stairs over there. And he points over to the other corner.
Yes.
Yes.
And then like he'll immediately like shift his glance up and see if he can find the GPS location of the Applegini. Like soon.
Nash just said, "Is this going to be a fucking problem?"
And yeah, Nash's phone dings with a text message that has skull, and then a halo.
Jarkus, can you handle this? There's going to be a fucking problem. We didn't come here to kill everybody in your gang.
What did you come here for? Haven't you got it?
Can't we just all bail? This fucking shit. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so let's just bail.
We gotta get fucking Trae out of here too. I mean,
what's Trae doing right now?
Trae's just kind of standing there.
Because if we talk much longer, it's going to seem like a suspicious amount of time.
Yeah. Yeah, he's literally just standing there waiting for everybody else someone to tell him what to do. And he's just he's in his own reality right now. And it's hard because he's trying to filter his own reality through the AR, through like the VR overlay that he's also currently in, and it's very distracting.
Yeah, I imagine it probably is. But we do need an action from you. You heard Jarkus say he hasn't seen Jack and he hasn't seen Reggie. You're the only one the guy's seen.
So yeah, if I told him that I would get the things, and so he will slowly like turn and like eye Jarkus, and then like through the door like eye Nash, and just like start to slowly turn and walk back down towards the door.
If Reggie can get out there, Reggie would go out there.
When you start to move, I throw a hand on you and say, "Let him pull them outside, and then we'll fucking go and grab it."
I guess so, but he needs help.
But they can't see us pulling boxes of shit out of Jackson's room, man.
Okay, but what if you and Jerkus just kind of you carry the shit and I'll act like I'm with the gunman?
Yeah, but how are you gonna explain that you're in the fucking room, man? Like he only saw.
All right. I mean, okay, fine. We'll just let it play out.
We'll catch him downstairs. We're gonna catch him downstairs. It's fine.
Okay, all right. I don't want to. I feel terrible about this. Okay, all right, fine.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Don't worry about it, Jerkus.
So I assume as Trae goes, because they wanted him to go to a different set of stairs, right?
Afterwards.
Afterwards.
I'm heading back to the van.
Always got to get the stuff first. Yes.
Okay, so, and by the time it took you guys to exchange just a few sentences, he's at the door already. So he's probably stepping back out into the parking lot now, trying to figure out what is the plan.
Do the windows open?
To the building?
Yeah, the window in the room.
I said no. They were like 2-story ceiling to floor window, like office windows.
Yeah, but not on this side, because this is the side that adjoins the parking structure. There's no windows on this side.
Well, if they didn't follow
okay, so
him
Trae is out the door. He's now standing on the second level of the parking structure. And you did notice them eyeing you on your way out. I mean, it's not like they're 100% relaxed.
Oh yeah.
You know, they're kind of like, what's up with that guy? I don't know.
I don't blame them.
Oh, Nash, this is no good. This is.
I mean, fuck. I don't know if the SUV's inbound. I mean, we could just make a break for it and hope the fucking car is here, or get back in the van and fucking go.
And Jarkus speaks up like he has a vote in this. He's like, we got everything we need. I think we should just jump in the van and bail.
I mean, it's a good plan as any.
Hey, Jerkus. Hey, you did good. It's a good plan, Jerkus.
Listen, man, I'm dead if Jesus finds me here. Let's go.
Oh yeah, I mean, Jesus will send you to Jesus, to himself. We're going to send you to Jesus. You know what? Fuck it. Let's just go. I can't think of it.
All right. Well, there goes nothing. Like he's got like boxes full of
we
fucking
belong
shit.
here. We belong here. This
Yeah,
is
you
fine.
got boxes of shit in your arms.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everything's
because
fine.
Trae didn't. Right. So now we got to grab the extra stuff.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's fine. Just act natural. Act natural.
Okay. Sorry, you running or just strolling like you belong here? Wait.
Yeah, I think they start the stroll, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if
See how they
You
react.
only got to go like, I don't know, 50, 60 feet.
yeah.
Okay, let's just see what happens. Let's see how far we get. Jerkus, you lead the way.
So, like, at a game real quick, I don't know if, like, Nash would push Jarkus ahead of them to ensure that this guy gets fucking burnt, because then he's with us with boxes of shit coming out of the fucking office. Because, like, if we walk out with him and then he starts yelling, "Hey, they just broke into Jackson's fucking
Well, then you
room."
want to keep him. You want to keep him on the interior side of you. Then, like even if you turn to head toward the door, you want him on your right because it's a big open courtyard and you're going to be moving around the perimeter of it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. So if you want to use him as a human shield, you have to keep him an interior of you.
Yeah. Like, Nash is pretty sure that the guy's not gonna do anything, right? Like, in a meta sense, like, crush the fucking roll. So they could just leave him in the room and fucking bail. And,
He's still calling you sir.
all right, so he's like, all right, let's get the fuck out of here. You coming?
Yeah,
Like,
let's get the fuck out.
Yeah, gives him the option.
He repeats Jack's words to Reggie.
So you grab that box then.
Reggie just kind of looks back at Nash like his eyes put up. Okay, well.
So, like, he gets one box, and then Nash has got like a box, and then he like puts that box on top of him, so he has a free fucking hand.
Yes.
Okay,
He's
and
all
Jarkus
practical.
Jarkus points at the dream deck and shrugs.
No, all of them. Yeah, we take all the dream decks.
All right, so he takes the dream deck.
Yeah, like if there's another bag, like he would just like sling another bag full of shit over his shoulder. Or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll carry some
and then we're out the door onto the catwalk, and we're just
Mhm.
like strolling
everything's
toward,
normal.
like everything's normal.
This is fine.
Yeah, what happens is, hey, who are you guys?
It's fine.
We're with the gun guy.
What are you doing in Jackson's room?
He told us to meet us. He wasn't here. Like, he's still walking.
Yeah.
No,
we're
no,
just
no,
walking.
no. And he whistles. And when he whistles, you hear movement from all these other rooms as people reach for their weapons and open their doors.
We start running. Like,
Yeah, it's
the
probably
door
running
opens
time.
in front of
Running.
us, and Nash just like,
Yeah, we run. It's time to run.
Okay, while you're running out the door, I need to know what order y'all are going out the door because there's going to be people quickly drawing and firing at you.
Mhm.
So, who's first? I kind of feel like, okay, Nash walked out with Jarkus in front of him. Reggie's probably in back.
Yep. I'd be in the back.
Okay. So when you break left, Nash is probably in front because Jarkus is the dumb fuck.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just,
And
come
he's
on,
not-
come on.
Yeah, but he's not. He's also just. I mean, Nash is an athlete and a warrior and shit, and Jarkus is not. So it's probably Jack who's the first one out the door. Jarkus is like kind of going like this as Reggie runs past him.
I'll grab it. I'll grab him and throw him ahead. Like I'll grab him and throw him ahead. Like, come on, come on,
I
man.
love it. That's awesome. And that means that the shot that comes closest is going to be yours, Reggie, instead of his. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't
So-
know why I'm doing this, but I'm doing it because it's Jerkus, you know?
But you are trying to move as fast as possible. I'm
Yeah.
going to call that defense. So you get to do a grace roll.
I will do the grace roll.
I'll even give you the martial arts if you're trying to like throw him.
How
in a
about the
graceful
athletics
way that allows
parkour?
you-
Like I'm
Parkour.
parkouring him.
How?
It doesn't matter. It's the
Yeah,
the
that one's a
athletic-
little harder to stretch.
All right, we'll do the martial arts, the +2. That's a 5, so 7.
I've got an 8.
Great. I'll take.
yeah.
I've been shot before. Fuck this.
Yeah, hang on just a second. Yeah, you're hitting the right thigh, Reggie.
Ouchies.
That is that's 1 point of grace.
Oh my grace. Okay. All
I
right.
assume when the shooting starts that Trae is like at the door. I would like to imagine. I don't know.
Trey's on the other side of the door. Trey's outside.
I know.
Yeah,
but
I'm in the
when-
garage.
And the frame that just ended with that gunshot is the frame where you guys get out the door. So it's like, if you could picture it as a comic book panel, you'd see maybe Trae holding the door open, Jack barreling out of it, Jarkus being thrown through it by Reggie, who's getting hit as he's the last one in
I
line.
got shot again.
And then you're out. And a
Yeah,
new
so I
frame
guess we-
begins because they you can't just stand here. They will be here in a
We're
second.
running.
Yeah.
We're running and bleeding.
Yeah, so we run into the car, just like throwing shit into the fucking van. He goes, go, 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 go.
I throw Jerkus into the van.
All right, and it's
Well,
Reggie in the driver's seat.
Yeah,
I assume not being shot.
I mean, if I'm shot in the right thigh, if I can still drive, yes, I will. But if I can't push if my leg is hurt and such.
I mean, if you yell that you're shot, I yell at you to get in the back.
You're not damaged enough to have a negative mod yet.
It's fine. I can still do this. I can still drive. Damn it.
Fuck, come on, come on, come on, come on.
All right. Reggie starts.
real quick, just to back up just a few seconds. So we all like start getting in the van, and Jarkus is with us, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
And Trae, like as they're about to get in the van, like he sees Jarkus start to get in, and he's gonna like grab Jarkus by the shoulder and pull him back, and then pull his gun out and shoot him.
You're gonna shoot him?
Yeah.
Holy fuck! Okay, well I'm not ready for that. So just beat a 2.
Neither is he.
That is a 7.
Call your shot.
Or in the
Damn,
head, right?
Trey! Just literally, he like pulls him back from the shoulder, and then literally, and lets the gun take care of it practically. Like just pulls it out, doesn't even look, and is just like
Boom.
and then shoots him right in the side of the head.
Oh, that's cold.
Okay.
All right, and now I need a grace roll from Reggie because there's figures coming through the door. I want to know if you can start the engine and peel out faster than they can get a beat on you and
Alright.
shoot.
Raises it down to a 2. Do I get to do any sort of like?
Just driving, and I think you take a -1 from your driving because it's not really a land.
It's a
vehicle.
piloting airspace thing. So
Right, so you get
Yeah,
that
yeah.
bonus, but at a -1,
Okay, so it's just a +1.
and you need to beat 6.
Oh my God, there's a 5, so that is a 6.
Okay, that is a yes, but
Yes, but I run over Jerkus, so it slows us up a little bit. What was that?
the but is that one of your tires is hit. It'll be like you can get out and down the ramp.
Yeah.
By the time you hit the street, it'll be flat.
Oh God, this is going to be a problem. I think it's fine, but we need to make sure the Appleguinea's down there. Where is it? And he floors it as best he can.
The fuck do you mean the Appleguini?
Hey, where's Jerkus? Wait, what is it?
Yeah. So now you hear, just like I did today, you hear the right rear tire is starting to sound weird, and the cab is starting to bounce like this. As you get down to the bottom of the ramp and out on the street, and you hear the metal rim hit the concrete. Like, this vehicle is not going to get us very far.
Make it. Hey, we're not going to make it. It's not going to work.
You are at street level though. You made it down the ramp.
We did it. Okay, what's the status?
Can we retcon just to say that, like, you know, blah, 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 you know, the fucking truck gets all shot up, and then like Nash just sticks the fucking rifle out and just shoots over everyone's head just to like drop
just a
people
spray.
down.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want while Reggie is heading toward the because the shot that hits your tire is not the only shot fired. So there's like bullet holes in the sides of the van.
Okay. Yeah, he does that to try to get them to duck, just to give them a little bit more time.
Yeah, spraying.
Yep.
Nice. And then you're down on the street, and I believe I just heard Reggie say, "Where's the Appleguini?"
Yeah.
Yeah, and Nash goes, "What?"
And right then it comes careening over the.
You're all prepped for this, right, Trae?
Yes.
All right. Look, at the end of the block, there's a screech of tires, and it's the fucking Appleguini.
Oh shit!
Yep.
What a coincidence! And let's go into it.
Yeah,
I
you
told
better
you
go
not to
because
take the Appleguini. God damn it! Grab that shit.
I'm leaning a couple guys over the railing and trying to shoot down at you.
Okay, that's fine. It's fine.
Okay, I need everybody to do a grace roll. You're just like getting in the car and bailing as fast as you can.
Straight grace?
Pretty far away. You're going to beat a 4. You can apply. I'm going to say straight grace.
I got double 5s.
A straight grace. I got a 3.
I got a 5.
Oof.
Reggie, you're hit again.
I'm getting shot again. Oh, damn it.
Okay, and it says you reach out with your left arm to grab the door of the Appleguini. You get hit in the arm.
Oh, my arm. Damn it. I'm running out of limbs.
Trae will jump back into the van real quick and grab the
that's gonna
first
be
aid kit.
Another grace point.
Oh, this is fun. Hey, listen, I'm almost useless to you again. This is fine.
Trae, drive.
Yeah.
Nash gets in the back because it's a modified Apple. It's not like the standard like 2-seater, and you can't put a shoe in the back seat. So like he piles in with Reggie and starts fucking medic him up. He tamponing the fucking arm.
Did you get all the shit from the van?
Yeah.
And Trae just puts in some like random location like 5 miles out and just literally like opens up a map and just drops a point and has the
you actually can't do that.
Because there's no signal.
You have to drive.
I don't know how to drive a car. I don't know how to drive.
Just go.
Like literally like no, seriously. It's literally you tell him to drive, so he sits in the driver's seat and tries to tell the car to move.
And it does nothing at all.
And he just looks back at you and he's like
and Reggie's bleeding.
Reggie tries to explain to him what to do. Put your fingers, put it on the thing. I want to do, can I use my fast talk psyche and try to explain to him how to drive really super quickly? Like, this is what you do. And then he's got good intelligence. He can pick up everything I'm saying. and I am
right?
teaching him how to drive.
I'm gonna let you roll that.
Sweet. Now it's Fast
Because
Talk Psyche.
basically, I think it comes down to finding like the fastest metaphors that will make Deck Trae understand what the fuck you're saying.
Yeah,
as quickly as possible.
I'm good at this.
Okay, you need to beat a 5 if you want to be able to drive this like within the next 10 seconds, which is really what you need. Right? You need to beat a 5.
Doing it. There's a 6 plus 2 is an 8.
Ooh.
Hell yeah.
That is a yes and. So you've thought of the perfect metaphor. It's a driving game that's really popular, and you're sure Trae has played it. So you're using the interface of that driving game as a metaphor for where you put your feet.
Grand Theft Auto 76.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. Just do what they do in Grand Theft Auto 76. Turn the key, put the flooring.
Yeah, so that's literally he has with the subtle control
right
of
foot
a
is the accelerator,
4-year-old.
your left foot is the brake. Everything else is the same.
Yep.
Everything else is the same.
Yep. With the control of a 4-year-old in the Power Wheels. Yeah. He just slams his foot on the pedal.
I love it. Okay, so you this is going to be a grace roll.
Yeah.
And it's a skill that you don't have.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I'm giving you a -2.
Oh boy.
Well, I rolled a 3.
Yeah.
3 is what you have to beat. So that's
I rolled a 3, but with a -2, that's a 1.
Oh, it's a 1. Oh. Yeah,
I rolled a 3.
Nash is gonna kill us. He's gonna kill us.
Yeah,
his Apple.
You start the engine. He said, "Do just like they do in GTA 76."
76.
One arm out. One.
Right. So one hand on the wheel. You go sprinting down the boulevard and up onto the curb, where you slam into a fire hydrant, and the car spins into the middle of the street. It comes to a stop. The front end is fucking caved in.
I can imagine I make it maybe 10 feet because, like, I slam on the gas, the whole car starts to fishtail.
You make half a block. Top.
I should have said GTA 74.
Put it this way. Remember, I said you needed 10 seconds before they were close enough to shoot you again. You just bought yourself another 10 seconds, but that's all.
Well, while that was happening, I got a 6 on my medic. So Reggie's got like a tampon sticking out of his fucking leg and his arm to stop the blood flow.
This is incredibly embarrassing.
Oh my god. Okay, so now they're coming. You don't see this, but of course they're coming running down the stairs, and they're going to be around the corner in just a few seconds, where they'll be able to shoot in your direction again. I need to know what everybody's doing now.
Out of the car. We grab the fucking gear and like just make it for a fucking alley. Like get off the fucking street where they can see us, and we'll figure it out the other way. There's no cops, or we haven't seen any. So like he's not concerned about getting caught doing something. The car is insured. We need the shit that we just found to get the fuck out. Okay.
So you just grab all the shit, you jump out of the car, you've got like a 10-second lead time, so you just run down the nearest alley. There's it's mostly like crammed apartment, like mini apartment complexes in here. And so you're in a very narrow alley between two of them, which is like electric wires and laundry lines strung back and forth between them. A lot of garbage. It smells terrible down here. Oh yeah, there's a couple homeless people living next to a dumpster right here. This is the alley you're in.
So as they're running, Nash is just like, Reggie, are you gonna be all right? You all right? Can you make it? Oh shit, he's dead.
He just died.
Rich
the
dead
diet
man.
got him.
I don't know what happened.
Focus.
Holy crap!
Reggie, you with us?
What happened? I lost consciousness for a second. Hold on.
And Trae looks down and just Nash's blood is all over his hands.
Wait, what? What did I miss? Hold on. Jesus Christ.
and Nash's severed head looks up from the floor at Reggie.
I always knew you were a cyborg. No.
Oh wait, I was wrong. That was Ash, not Nash.
That was my all-time best misclick of a button. Oh, God. Panicked John was panicked.
You come back on the stream, you're like, and you see Reggie's penis flying.
I always knew it was a cyborg. Where are we?
Are you okay, man? Can you fucking run? Are you gonna be good?
No, I can't do anything. Yes, I'm fine. Let's just go. So are we in an alley? That's where we are.
You are in an alley between two micro apartment buildings. There's trash here. There's a dumpster. There's a homeless couple lives behind the dumpster. They're looking at you kind of quizzically. There's electric cords and laundry lines strung back and forth between these buildings. It's very dark and very smelly. Again, you have like probably a 10-second lead on your pursuers right now.
So
There are some windows here. Like if you wanted to try breaking a window and climbing in, you could do that. Or you could just keep on running down the alley to the next street over.
Yeah, so I think like we know we're going this way, right? Like the car was heading this direction. So we kind of like jumped in this alley. We want to kind of work perpendicular. Like we know we have to go that way.
Reggie asked the homeless people. He says, "Oh, hey, we're trying to get the fuck out of here. Where do we go?" We're new here.
The guy points back the direction you came from and across the street where the alley continues in that same direction. Highway, 2 blocks.
That's fucking sweet. That's sweet. Thank you.
You got any food?
Yes.
And then he runs away.
The guy just stands there. He's not even standing. He's laying down, like he's reclining. His hand is in the air.
Is there maybe some trail mix in one of my pockets, or a cracker?
I mean, I'd assume like attempting to bend reality is pretty taxing, so you have something to carb load.
Okay, so I'm going to invent a new thing now.
Ooh.
This is called a luck roll, and we both get 1 die, and you have to beat mine.
I was going to try to say there's a flashback scene where Reggie was homeless, and so he always keeps some crackers on him in case
I would
he ever.
grant that. If you called that a player character generation scene, like character development, I would do that. I would grant that.
Yeah, well, okay. It was trying to get out of.
You have to make it like a life shaper, and it's a thing now. It's real.
I would be honored to participate in that. I will make it a life shaper that Reggie was. Before he was right out after he got booted, he did not have anywhere to go, so he lived on the street for a while before he was able to kind of like.
Okay, so here's the thing though. I need to see a scene.
Okay, let's see a scene.
I'll play whatever you want. You can enlist the other 2 guys if you want.
So I want to say, just to make it sort of relate to this situation, Reggie wasn't asked for anything ever. So this is at the lowest he's ever been. He was starving. He's huddled up against a dumpster, shivering. He's just like he's lost a ton of weight. Just all the stresses just weighing on him. His brain is in so many different places, and he
So
was
is this
on
maybe like 2 years ago?
probably 2.5, 3 years ago. Maybe, yeah, in that realm, in that area, and he he hears some footsteps, and just for no reason other than he's decided to just give up on any of his ideals, any of the things that he thinks of, not asking for help or anything. And he doesn't look up, doesn't even know who it is. He just like, if this doesn't work, I'm done. I give up. And he would just be completely probably just wait to die. He puts his hand up and he goes, "Oh God, I'm so hungry. Do you have anything? Anything for me?" And he puts his hand out to whoever's walking by him.
Maybe this is the point at which his life starts to turn around. So
Yep.
So you look up, and then framed, like the fucking street light is shining, right? So this woman kind of steps forward in this sort of halo of light, in like a smart skirt, and she kind of like, squats down. She's like, "Oh, you poor man, what happened to you?" She is like a fucking bag of McDonald's or some shit, and she's like, "Oh, here, do you have a place to stay? I work with the mission."
"Oh, you have a mission? Okay, I accept the mission."
No, it's the homeless shelter down the street, St. Anne's. You never.
No, I'm just so hungry. I haven't heard. Yo, this is very nice, you talking to me. And he starts to cry a little bit.
Oh no, it's okay. It's fine. You're gonna be fine. And she pulls out a cell phone and calls the number to the mission. It's like,
no phones.
"Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry." She takes a couple of steps away. She's like, "I need some help on 3rd and Wilmot. Send one of the guys over." And then she comes back over. She kneels down. She's like rubbing your back. She's like, "It's gonna be okay. We're gonna help you."
I don't like being touched.
"Oh, I'm sorry."
No, it's okay. I understand. I appreciate it. And Reggie, yeah,
One of those liberal ladies from a local non-government organization.
Oh yes, that's a non-government, non-corporate.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes, Reggie would just sort of resign himself because someone is speaking to him. This is kind of.
So the upshot here, though, is that you always carry a bit of food for a hungry person.
Yeah, like a packet. Yeah, there's always if he sees it. So back in the kitchen where he got the coffee there, he would probably grab a couple of packets just because it's a habit of his to just grab some. Oh, here's some crackers, and he puts it in his pocket just in case he can pay forward what the kindness that was done for him.
Okay, so he hoards food to distribute to the poor.
Yes, this fits into his anti-establishment attitude too.
Wow, I like that. And so when the guy asks, "Do you have any food?" and he puts his hand out, Nash and Trae just sort of look at each other and they shrug. And Reggie whips out.
Reggie makes it rain.
Trae actually starts to reach under the sweatshirt for the gun. He's like,
And then a rain of crackers and Oreo cookies.
Nash is gonna start carrying a fucking squirt bottle. No bad trade.
Jesus Christ. Patrick. Yeah, man, we're gonna have to deal with that situation. So I like the idea of making this a life shaper. God.
I do too.
What kind? Hold on. You know what? We can move on. I'll look at the life shapers and I'll see what I need to do here. But that's what happens. I make it rain cookies and crackers.
You just got like a bunch of like high protein. What are the granola bars?
Oh God, yes. From Dark Matter, they have. They've
got the fancy stuff. So they've got
greatest.
They've got tubes of Nutri in like every flavor, and a lot of flavor packets too. All the
flavor packets.
Yeah, they got all the flavor packets.
They eat this stuff and they're like instantly health. Like just their health just pops up. Their health stat goes up too. Oh, where there's the life shapers. Yeah. Okay. I'll look through that and I'll figure something out.
Okay. I'm looking up some stuff myself.
So much editing. Sometimes I get shy when we play, not necessarily when we play, but like collectively for the podcast. Oh, it's gonna get a mess later.
History. It could be a history thing. Pay it forward.
Oh, I like that.
Is it only food or what?
Yeah, I mean food.
I can see Reggie like spending time like talking to people and trying to like get them to shelters and stuff.
Yeah, he's, like, sort of in the same vein. When I don't have 2 bullet holes in me, maybe I would do that. And if we weren't trying to escape the Yellow Jacket gang of Derova or wherever the Yellow Sunshine gang, I would try and do something else. But now it's just crackers and Oreos, and we need to go.
Okay, so the homeless guy takes the food, he gives some to his partner, and he smiles, and it's like, you've brought so much light to this guy's life. He says, I see you're hurt, brother. I understand what it's like. Can't go to the authorities. You go straight up this way. And he points the same direction, right? Go up through Sunridge, out the other side. You'll be in Bozing, right? 2 blocks up, look for Dragon Square. The dragons, they're good guys. You tell them Captain Bojangles sent you. They'll sew you up.
Dragons, Captain Bojangles, you say? That's wonderful. You've done me a kindness, sir.
No, it's you that done me the kindness, sir. Now, you go to them dragons, you tell them I sent you. They won't even charge you nothing. They got a good doctor up there.
Damn. Right, damn. Thank you. What is your name? Oh, you've already told me. I've lost a lot of blood.
And then he looks at Nash and Trae. He says, "You guys, you take care of your boy here. You get him up to Dragon Square.
Yeah,
they'll patch him up."
Trying. Yep. Thanks for the tip.
Thank you for the food.
And Nash points the other way and says, "Look, we're going to go up and loop around. We can't go back that way." So, like, we'll go to the next block and then over the street and then down the other side, right? As opposed to running back the way we came, where the guys with the guns are. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. The captain just watches you go. Oh, sit, but.
Goodbye, farewell, Captain Bojangles.
Thanks, Cap.
Okay, so you're down to the end of the block. The end of the block, you see no gang members. Yes.
I was going to say, can we make if a roll's needed? Can we make stealth rolls to like cross the street? Then, so like we get to the end, and then to like cross and come back, we make stealth.
I think that's a good idea. There's also such a thing as survival urban, if you have that skill.
Survival forest.
You could do that with a neg 1.
Stealth was. It'll be a straight roll. Stealth is better. 1.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I think
Anybody
it's very
else?
clear that Trae has no survival skills.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I only got a 4.
Oh, yeah. Well, you think you're hiding pretty well.
Yeah. Like, come on, guys, this way. Across the street, right over here. And like he looks and then just runs.
There's some
then,
toothless old lady on a terrace up above that points you out as to.
what are you guys doing down there? Yeah, so then they start running back in the direction, but they're like a block over. So it's to hopefully maybe not be intercepted.
Right. Hang on just a minute. Look up some shit.
I stopped taking notes at this point. It's a clusterfuck.
Okay. The next block over, there's a large pile of garbage on the side of the alley. If you're walking past it, you see something scuttering around. They look kind of like rats, but they have no fur on them. They're just like pink skin, kind of really creepy looking, gross looking, diseased rats. And they're eating garbage, and in this pile is like the smell of piss and human waste. Like this is where the bums from the block over like piss and shit and throw their garbage, and these little rats are eating it. That's how fucking gross this part of the city is.
Oh boy.
When you get up to the end of the block, you're going to have to, this is where you really need to be careful, because you don't want to be seen crossing the street as you go, the same street that the Appleguine's one block over on.
Yeah.
So I'm going to need another roll from everybody here. This is Grace. You can apply something like stealth or any other applicable skill that you have. And you want to beat 4. This is difficult.
I got a 5. 4 on
Got
the
a
die.
5 and a 2.
There is a 6, so 7.
Okay.
Nice.
Wow.
All right. Now, as you run across the street, you do see that the gang is starting to spread out. You count 6 of them now. 2 of them are examining the Appleguine, and 4 of them are starting to spread out left and right, and they're looking in windows. Luckily, they were looking in windows north and south while you ran across the street, and they did not see you.
I feel like we timed it, right? So like we get to the end, you kind of get that look out again, and then they both they turn to
As
look
they're
at
walking,
each other.
they're
and
coming toward the next big plate glass window, and so they're going to look in there.
Yeah. Go.
We can take him.
No, come on, let's go.
All right, you're right. Let's go. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, so they hoof it. Hopefully, the 2 blocks into the next.
Okay, now it turns out to be more than 2 blocks, and the good news is once you make it to the other side of the highway, Trae, you're back on the network. Okay, you want to get to. He says you want to go all the way through Sunridge and come out in Bozing. That's 10 miles.
Oh shit!
What the fuck? Bojangles fucked us.
No, if you
You worked
listen,
out your cardio.
he did say you have to go through Sunridge, and then once you get into Bozing, 2 blocks.
Mm.
He did not say how wide Sunridge is.
Yeah.
But now you
Can I do-
understand why he looked
Yeah.
at you 2 guys and said that you're going to have to help get your buddy there.
Yeah.
Right.
Can Trae do like an AR overlay where it looks like a video game path, like how you have the dust trail on the ground leading you to the path to the quest end.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, do you
Yeah.
say that you're connected again? Because Nash wouldn't think about
No,
it.
but he'll immediately, like, as soon as it all comes on, like real quick, he'll like just bring up where they were told to go, like the general thing, and just like drop a point, and he'll just be like, okay, this way, and just start running with purpose.
We can tell.
Because you could literally just call us a car.
Yeah, but it
opposed
would
to
probably
running-
be fast. Yeah, but it would probably be faster for us to run there.
10 miles?
10.
Maybe we could.
Well,
run,
we can. Yeah,
can
true. Even
time
running
it.
full speed, just the two of us, it would probably take us like an hour to get there.
And I can't really run that good. You could call the car to like intercept us in our.
That's what I'm
trajectory.
getting. Yeah. So I'll do that. Yeah. So I'll call a ride to meet us, like depending on. All right. So the asshole way that Trae does things as well, he'll call the ride to meet us like 3 blocks up. And then he'll get like if you do Uber or whatever, you get the location of the driver. So he'll continuously reposition. So the driver will keep getting a new destination like every minute.
Update. Yeah.
Yep.
Then he drops off, but another one will pick it up. He's like, That's
But
good
it's a
shit.
driverless car, so like nobody cares, right? Like
gotcha.
the car's probably
Oh, yeah.
driverless, so like it just continually updates.
Your driver comes. It is a small Indian woman who's driving the vehicle. She is extremely taciturn. She kind of looks grumpy. Doesn't make a lot of conversation. But
She's gonna be pissed when her back seat's covered in blood.
But as you, all right. But as you come to the north end of Sunridge, who's in the passenger seat with her? Nash or Trae? Who's in
Probably
the back
Trae.
with Reggie?
Probably Trae. Yeah.
Yeah, Nash will probably be in the back with Reggie.
Okay, so now Sunridge is a sprawl. It's much more well developed. It's got internet capability. It's got GPS signal. All the city services. It is cramped, and it is a lot like the sort of more toward the lower class of what you envision as a capitalist dystopian future. But it is not living in the filth of Derova. It's just like an overcrowded inner city kind of a vibe. As you get up to the northern end, though, at the end of that 10 miles, across the street from you, you see another completely decrepit, broken down neighborhood. Many of the buildings have completely collapsed. Many of the lots are filled with what looks like tent cities. People are living in tents and slapped together like lean-tos out of like tarps and corrugated metal. It's across the street. It looks like Johannesburg. And she turns to Trae with a questioning look on her face, pointing ahead, like, "You really want to go into Bosing?"
And he'll just kind of nod at her and then put his head forward.
She says, No. I dropped you here. You already made me drive to Derova. I will not go into Bosing."
Right, Rich, how you holding up? I mean, do we want to?
Look, it's only 2 blocks, gentlemen.
I mean, yeah. You know what? It's fine. Let's not put her through any more shit.
As Reggie says that, Trae has his hand on his gun under his sweatshirt, but he says that and he's like,
Yeah, let's.
"All right."
Nash,
She
we have to do something about
She
it.
points up at the
Right.
sky. She says, No net in Bosing. I no enter Bosing."
Yeah, no, thank you for
done
the
it.
ride.
You did great. Thank you.
He swipes over whatever the fucking payment
you-
is or whatever.
5 stars.
Reputation. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Me to you. And she gives Reggie 5 stars.
What? He takes
Well,
the-
you swiped 5 stars to her, so she swiped right back.
Okay.
It's like
Great.
a like for a like, you know.
Oh, I love it. Oh, good. Oh, a customer. Oh, I see. Okay, yes, I'm a 5-star customer.
You're a 5-star customer.
All right, let's get out of here before she realizes there's blood all over her backseat.
All right. So you guys make it up 2 blocks, you see a big open archway, sort of a stucco front, a lot of joined buildings have been sort of like stuccoed together with a decorative, what once was probably sort of like a Spanish themed open air market. But now, of course, the paint is peeling and the archway looks a little bit busted. It's been fixed with like wood and a different color of cement. And when you step inside, you see it's a big, huge square area, probably about like 1/8 of a mile across, a big open square. It used to be a beautiful park where people would like shop and have lunch, and there are still some tables and barbecue grills out, but everything's all like the grass is dead and the grills are all rust covered. And around the outer perimeter are all of these shops, little boutiques that used to serve the sprawl. And most of them are now out of business. They've been filled up by homeless people. And you do see a little line of people outside one of these shops that says doctor and a red cross painted above the door. So you head over in that direction, and the people in line, they start looking at you. You're trying to figure out, do you have to wait at the back of the line? When somebody inside says, is that man bleeding? It's a female voice. Sounds like a young female voice.
Yeah, he's been shot. Can you help?
Twice.
Bring him in right away.
So sorry.
A couple people like move aside and they get out of your way. They're like pointing at his wounds. Well, look how fucked up this guy is.
Are those tampons?
Walk you into a room with a bunch of. It looks like this place used to be like a department store of some kind, like just a one level. Oh, I don't know, a Walgreens or that kind of a thing, right? I don't know if they have Walgreens where you guys come from, but a small one level market. Okay, not as big as a supermarket, but it's all been cleared out, and it now looks like sort of like an emergency medical center has been set up here, and there's some gurneys, and there's computers, and there's medical equipment, and there's like a big table with wheels and all these surgical tools on it, and there's people standing around in the corners, mostly men, mostly well built, really chiseled, and most of them wearing a red vest or robe that displays their chests. Many of them have a dragon tattooed on their chest. Some of them have dragons embroidered on the backs of their robes. You realize that this is the dragon gang you've heard so much about. And they stand in almost military fashion, but you see that every single one of them is armed. Some are carrying holstered weapons. Some of them actually have like swords at their sides.
That's so cool. That's so cool.
You guys are brought forward to a young Asian woman. She looks like she's probably 20, 21 years old, wearing a white lab coat and with the little telltale mark on the side of her head of a DNI implant. She says, "I'm Dr. May. Let's help your friend." And they get you up onto the table. And she says, "Don't worry.
Wait,
you're in good hands."
Doctor. Hey, Doctor, it was Captain Bojangles. He recommended this place.
She pats you on the cheek as she inserts a hypodermic into your arm shortly, just a few inches above where you were shot. And she says, "Bojangles is the good man.
Yes,
he led you to the right place.
Yes.
Now you just relax, and we'll take care of you."
I'm blacking out again.
And Reggie remembers this young, smiling face looking down on him as everything fades to black. And Nash and Trae just sort of look around, and the soldiers are watching them, just standing at attention, waiting for anybody to do anything wrong.
Do they say anything to us since we're clearly armed? Right? Like Well, maybe not, right? Because the gun's probably in a holster. The other guns are in a bag. So I guess maybe. Yeah.
They are just as armed as you are, and they are just as capable of drawing their weapons. They outnumber you by like 3 to 1. Yeah, they're watching you closely, but they're not.
I just
making
didn't
a
know
move.
if they gave a shit about it. Like, what the fuck are you doing here? Why do you have so many guns?
Well, I don't know if you would necessarily know this, but it was the fact that Dr. May said bring him in right away, which is they do what she says.
Yeah.
And we're going to stop right there.
Sweet. I grabbed my book. I knew where we were going.
Boy.
You can find Dr. May in the Ubiquity 2 book, Undercurrents, under the story, The Heart of a Doctor.
That's true.
Ubiquity 2?
Ubiquity 2.
Okay, all right. I'm working my way through Ubiquity 1.
That's the darker one. The second one is a little more I don't know what word to use. A little more genre, maybe. A little more pulp, maybe. The first one gets pretty sad at some places.
Well, so far it's hitting all of my John's anti-corporate.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I'm
Yeah.
loving it.
It's that neoliberal dystopia
Boy.
with a level of like augmented AI reality on top of it.
Yeah, and hopelessness and despair. Yep.
You know what I should do? There's a bunch of people in my town. I think I should just buy them all copies of your book and hand them out and be like, hey, if you keep doing what you're doing right now, this is the shit that's going to happen.
Do you want Ubiquity? Because this is how you get it.
This is how you
And
get
then-
Ubiquity.
And of course, you're going to have the few people like, oh, this is kind of awesome.
Yeah, right. This sounds great, actually. Ah, yeah.
Damn it, it backfired.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, as long as some corporation finds me useful, it's pretty cool. I got robots, I
Right.
got augmented reality.
All right, well, let's wrap this up and then we'll jump into at least a quick post show. So I want to thank everybody for checking it out. This went in a direction I had not assumed that it would.
Yeah.
So that was
I mean, that's a DayTrippers game.
Yeah, for sure. We do have coffee for sale. It's tinyurl.com/legendary brew. If you order that sweet, sweet legendary brew, a little bit of money comes back to the show. The nice, easy drinking medium roast. It's what I keep in my house. It's still being roasted, even with COVID and the stuff that Neil's been going through in his own personal situation. So that is still available. Shipping is free. And if you use the code LEGENDS10, you're going to get 10% off your order. And that's true on any of the brews over at Birds of a Feather Coffee Company. Also, check the links in the show notes. We have links to the DayTrippers page, to the fictioneers.net. I don't remember if there's a link to Drive-Thru RPG, but that's easy enough to find. The books for DayTrippers are super cheap. There is no reason not to pick those up. So if you enjoy what we do, run your own game and then let us know about it, because that would be pretty fucking awesome.
You know what? Let's also throw out a pitch for Core, huh? DayTrippers is based on a system called Core, and the Core micro system I recently released as an SRD, right? So that's a development kit for you to take that mechanic, that juicy yes and that we like to do, the no but, all that kind of stuff mixed together with character generation and life shapers, just the way DayTrippers does, but for your own world, for your own setting, for whatever. It's built to be hacked, it's built to be skinned, and you can find it at Drive-Thru RPG. Core Micro.
You can also find the Core micro setting that Jesse put out, and also friend of the show, Kurt, who's in our Fear Itself game, also has a cute woodland wrestling WWF style Core
Do you
game.
believe it?
So check those out as well.
I don't know anything about wrestling, and I've never cared about wrestling, but when I read Kurt's rules, I actually want to play that game.
Yeah, sounds interesting. But again, thanks everybody for checking it out. Obviously, reviews, ratings, things on iTunes and stuff like that is immensely helpful, and we appreciate when you do that as well. And we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Bro Show. So I'm
Right.
like, fuck. There was a whole other thing that I thought was like maybe gonna happen, and then like we raided some fucking drug house. So like I'm so confused right now.
You're confused. You've been off the grid for hours. You've got a girlfriend who has no idea where you are.
Well, to be fair,
Oh,
she's
she was
on
supposed to
another
call.
planet
You don't
right
even
now.
you don't even know this. You know, we'll let you know after you finally get your shit together because you're a little too busy to check your phone right now. But yeah, Scylla's been trying to
Well, he
contact
doesn't
you
even
for
date.
hours.
I mean, Nash and Reggie don't even have their phones right now.
No.
Did we ever
where's
actually get
Nash's
rid of
phone?
them? Because I
Did you
I
get rid
asked
of them?
you. Well, I asked you if you could like download shit off of them, and then we never like really resolved that. And then
Oh, true,
we
yeah.
started talking to that guy. So
True.
Okay, so that's an open question. Then we should maybe review the previous. I don't remember whether Jack. I've assumed he did have it still.
yeah, I think we did because he was like, "Hey, can you like download this stuff?" And like we were talking about where we were gonna go, and then it was like, "Oh fuck, that guy's sitting there, isn't he?" And we just kind of took off in the other direction.
Right.
Can we talk for a second about how Reggie went out of his way to save Jerkus, only to have him unceremoniously executed?
You know what's
He was
wild
no
is, like,
longer. He was not only no longer useful, but he was. So two things that went on there.
he's dangerous.
He was a dangerous asset at that point, right? He could turn on us at any moment.
Put it this
But
way:
also-
if you guys
Yeah.
were the bad guys in any movie, I would know exactly why you killed him. Right? I go, oh, of course.
Yeah. But he also was the last person. He's the last person alive in the group that tried to take Reggie.
That's true.
And so it's cleanup for Trae.
It's personal.
It
In
makes
that,
sense.
in that regard, Reggie loves Trae, but I wish I did. I wish now I got shot twice.
You know that's just a fucking great moment though in the show, and you've made it out, and everybody's piling into the van, and Trae just goes,
You know
bam.
what?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Not you.
It was a good thing for sure.
That's a surprising moment right there. That probably happened just before a commercial break.
Ah, that was so fun.
Yeah. Oh man. Fuck. So now we gotta we gotta go through all that stuff. We gotta find out what's on those spheres. We gotta check out all those fucking nodes. Like,
Yep.
I've got a ton of work for you to do.
I'm just gonna be banking into all that shit. Like while they're patching Reggie up, Trae's just gonna be like just jacking into all the spheres.
Sifting through, jacking into the spheres, baby. Let me write that down real quick. Jacking into the sphere.
Right, because that could be
I
ultimately
don't think that word means what you think it means.
like ultimately that's super useful if there's something on there that ties Somnambula to a fucking street gang, and then maybe that's how we get him. Although, like, he could probably pay to make that go away, I guess, in some fashion or whatever. Nash's thought was to keep Jerkus, or whatever the fuck his name was, to keep him in case, like, we'd take him to the fucking cops and be like, oh, here's a fucking stoolie on fucking Somnambula, like, keep this guy in protective custody or whatever. Like Nash was trying to like think ahead if we could use him in our war against Somnambula.
So
Oh yeah, you could dig a big pit and keep him in the bottom of it as long as you want.
Yep.
How ubiquitous is this technology? Is like a data sphere? Is that like a thumb drive to us now, basically?
There we have used thumb drives, so there's still things that we call thumb drives, which I consider like more for this is just the way my brain went. So so the thumb drive things, in my canon, they're like when you buy blank CDs to record on.
Yep.
And data spheres are more like professionally produced CDs or CDRs. They come from, I mean, they're more expensive. And when you buy a movie in hard format, that's what it comes on. It doesn't come on a thumb drive. It comes on a data sphere. They also have much more storage than a thumb drive.
Okay. All right. Just trying to work out how, like, this clearly isn't something that this guy just like owned, like data that he recorded, like keeping tabs on people. This is like this is
if so, then he's like an aficionado, like a guy who buys like the best hi-fi, the best computer.
Which probably not, and especially since it was hidden in a wall. Right, exactly. Well, because I was trying, like, just for my sake, I was circling around in the fact that my original and my still like side purpose right now is to get into Somnambula and grab Reggie's info from them, like his data, and I know that is stored on a data sphere.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
Let me go on this
tangent. There's more storage space. They're often encrypted. The one at Somnambula is it. From all your encounters with Somnambula, you would not be surprised if that data sphere was not only encrypted but ran using a proprietary operating system. I mean,
so they have servers there that store all the dream data. Then someone made a copy of Reggie's dream data. Do we know for sure that was removed from the server, or someone just made a copy?
That's what was so weird about it, and why you were able to tell, because it's actually cut out. It was actually removed.
Okay, then that makes sense with the other stuff. Because I'm like, shit, if somebody just made a copy, who gives a shit? It's still on the fucking thing. Even if we go in there and get the copy, it's still on the fucking server.
Whoever made the copy on the data sphere also made sure that no one else could get it.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. And I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember exactly what it was.
Or that even an employee couldn't accidentally come across it.
Yeah.
So how do you? Oh, I guess we'll go over all this because it will be coming up very early in the session. But like, so how do you access the data off a data sphere?
I don't know, dude. I've got a couple notes here that I thought were going to come up early in the session.
Yeah, Scylla was supposed to call fairly ery.
Scylla was supposed to call right off the very first thing on my list. Nope. Why? Because we started by backing up.
Yeah, right.
And it threw me because in last session, Bento left because Nash called him boss at the end. And then you were like, oh, Bento's there talking to Reggie. And I'm like, shit, that was such a cool moment. Now I got to fucking cut that out now. Damn it.
But, you're right.
It's whatever.
Okay, so I was listening to some early, I don't remember what fucking episode it was, but when Reggie was doing the shit with Julio, and we started talking about, and it sounded like we were maybe moving toward a life shaper. So I wanted to ask you, John, is Reggie a stim head now? Did it replace Comanapryl with the brain hardware? So
we were kind of didn't you? I remember you guys talking about it for sure.
Yeah, like, are you still a nappy addict, or are you now a stim head instead?
What is a stim head again?
Well, it's like all this brain devices, like the cranial enhancers and virtual realities and augmented brain stuff, that like anything from like stuff that's supposed to make you smarter or give you dreams or positive image or self-help, anything.
Yeah.
It affects the brain with signals or patterns or music or any kind, even in the dream deck, you've been experimenting with all of them because you're trying to see what will help you like increase the power of your psychic.
Yeah,
potential.
I have now. That's starting to sound familiar. Yeah, I think I got to change my problem life shaver to that stim head instead of Coleman-Aprasil. That's fun.
I mean, we can go either way, but we were, I think, starting to go that way. And and I realized that we actually haven't talked about Nappy for a little bit.
No, it's sort of something that was just like, yeah, I mean, I kind of like a passive ability where he was just, I'm constantly just shooting up, or like every once in a while, just with my own little stash. But I think this makes more sense. I kind of feel like,
now in this season, Reggie is moving more into the direction of like psychic Reggie.
Yes. I must find the other Reggies.
Yeah.
Lucid dreaming. Yes.
Brain devices of some kind.
Yep. I'm into it.
He needs to unlock the singular Reggie.
Yes, the singular Reggie needs to be unleashed.
Cool.
Yes.
Well, so that'll make for interesting time next time. Although I guess if they have some sort of net connection there, which we don't know that they do in the doc's office, then I assume that like Nash starts getting all kinds of pings on his phone.
Yeah, 75 missed messages.
Yeah. Cool. And I love the fact that Dr. May is in, like, we're now part of that, and she's part of like, that's amazing. Like the name sounded familiar, and then when you were describing the square and then the dragons more, and I'm like, this sounds so fucking familiar. That's when I shot over to the look, I know where this is going. I'm looking at the map.
Yeah, I mean, really, that's the whole point. Eventually, the source book will be out, and that's the whole idea, is to allow people to tie their games in with that setting and those stories. I remember I loved it so much. The Thieves' World. I fucking used the fuck out of that book, and it's a big inspiration for the shit that I'm doing with Ubiquitous City right now. And the feeling that, I mean, I was almost always the GM. I very rarely played, but even as the GM, when someone entered a scene and encountered a major character, someone from the book, someone you knew because you'd read their story already, like their faces just fucking lit up. They loved it. It's like I get to meet the hero of that story. And it's just like a secondary character in mine.
Yeah. This is very cool. Has that happened before, or is Dr. May the first time that we've had sort of this cross-pollination?
You have met at least one other character from Ubiquitous City.
Fuck, I don't remember. Unless it was the clone guy when we broke into Somnambula.
Nope.
Fuck, I don't remember. Jesse knows. You're gonna have to tell me, because I don't fucking remember. Son of a bitch.
I'm not saying a damn thing.
It's Lil Kim, isn't it?
Well, shit, I'm almost done.
She deserves her own story.
Yeah, right. For sure.
I'll tell you. I will tell you. John, I told you this already, and I told you I wouldn't tell you.
Okay. I don't remember that either.
It was early. Was it earlier today or yesterday when we were talking? I can't remember.
I think
it was on Facebook.
Yeah, I know we talked a lot today. I think we talked a little bit yesterday too.
Everything is all together. Nothing. Time is nothing now.
If you had to explain this to like I don't know, a person from a culture where they never heard of role playing, or an alien of some kind, and like trying to explain to them where we draw the line between, okay, it's okay to go meta about this stuff, but we're not going to go meta about this right here. Why? Because we're just not. Like, there's a line there, and we all know it, and we're all obeying it, but nobody said there's a rule about it, right? There's just sometimes when you feel it's inappropriate to go meta,
Well,
we
you know
all
what it
just-
is for me. I don't want to. It's not even necessarily. I don't want to ruin the story for John. That's it. Like, I feel if I give that piece of information, then it opens up a whole different avenue of the story that he now has privy to that I don't think he should yet.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
because I mean Reggie does know just from having seen the two guys and the car itself. This is a powerful person. There's a person who's probably
Oh, I think I know who it is.
more powerful than Ingwe Cordoba.
Yeah,
right?
I think I know who it is now. It doesn't change anything because I can play knowing that, and it doesn't. Change
Yeah, it's
anything.
buy-in, right? Like it's like, oh yeah, okay, fine. I get the meta, but I don't care. I gotta play. I'm playing we're playing roles,
Well, and like that's the thing. Like during the game, almost like when we start, once the show is introduced and we do a fucking recap, like we're in character almost the entire time, and it's usually only for like clarification, like, oh, does this thing do this, or does this work this way, or like, hey, can I make this roll because I think this makes sense. But almost everything else is in character. I mean, like I was saying before we started playing,
and there's also the fact that I don't know about you, John, or John, but I think the answer is no. Whereas I know for Jesse, the answer is yes. He's actually read the Ubiquity source book, not just the stories, but the source book, where there's a lot more meta than there is in the stories.
I had not read the source book.
Yeah.
No.
And I think it's this game too. Like I think this game above all the other games is like the best game. But like the one I think
so too.
It's the one that everybody's invested in. Like I was saying before we started playing, I spent like 10 hours just yesterday and then editing the day before, all on DayTrippers. Like just to like yesterday, I just watched 2 whole games just to prepare for tonight, and then had a hard time going to sleep because I was like, fuck, like we got to do this and this, and then what about the phone? And fuck, like all this stuff. And then it's like, and then you were like, oh, we're not going to play. I'm like, fuck. And Jesse was like, fuck. Because Jesse and I were back and forth all day on Facebook and our other thread. And like everybody's just super in the zone, like for this game, because it is.
I don't always succeed, but I do try, because the whole thing
Bullshit.
for me. Huh? The part of the thing for me is that the engine of this game is, as much as possible, I want it to come from you guys. And I want to give you prompts, I want to give you possibilities, I want to give you environment and atmosphere, but I want a lot of the creativity to come from the players and the psychic content that what did he just said something, and he said it like that must scare him, or that must think that's like the coolest thing that could possibly, let's go with that. If I want to take what you guys offer and like tweak it or turn the amplification up and send it back at you, because that's what drives your emotional attachment to whatever the hell's going on. Now it's tricky. The more people you have in the group, it's very easy to make one person like the focus of this episode, the one who's having the problem, and the other two just kind of like they're there because they're good friends of his or whatever, they're helping or whatever. But whenever possible, it's not always possible, but whenever possible, I try to make sure every player at the table has some kind of emotional like problem or dilemma going on. It may not resolve right now, right?
Well, but sometimes that other person's problem becomes like, the combat in the last session. I'm like, well, fuck. All right, well, I get there when I get there. But like, that's my emotional investment, is that these guys are getting hurt. I'm not doing anything, but I'm so
you'll do it for each other too,
ready.
which I think that's fucking beautiful. And the fact if there's one if there's one way in which I've broken this rule more often than any other way, it's when Nash is the guy with the problem and Reggie is the supportive friend. And it's so easy to do that because the way John plays Reggie, there's no shortage of emotion. I don't feel like I'm failing to, generate something because the emotion's already there. I don't have to generate anything. He is a good supportive friend. I don't have to make that happen. So if Jack is having a problem, fucking Reggie's there. Right?
Yeah.
That's why I ever since I left with Chip,
Chip.
I've wanted to come back since, but my hesitation the entire time, and even with even coming in with Deck, my hesitation was to pull it. I didn't want any focus to come off of that because as an outside observer listening to the show as well, I've seen that happen in that the buddy cop aspect build up where it's the problem of one person is the problem of both of you, and it's happened the entire time. And
it's
the last thing I wanted
to
do,
there's a social structure there. There's a dynamic.
There is.
It's if you've got 3 cats in the house, they form a sort of a little social structure, and everybody knows who everybody is. And then you introduce a 4th cat. Now the whole fucking structure has to change.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's almost what I didn't want to do. And I knew it's inevitable if I came back to play that it would happen, but I wanted to try to do that as little as possible. I wanted to make Deck.
I don't know how much of this you pre-thought, because we did have a couple characters in mind that we discussed before you finally settled on Deck/Trae. But I think one of the brilliant things about Deck/Trae is that he made himself indispensable in a way that with a skill that nobody else has, while B, at the same time, he's so fucking weird that
beautifully weird.
You have to accept him as he is. He's not going to break the bond between Nash and Reggie because he's barely even human. He's just Trae. You have to accept him the way he is.
Yep.
He doesn't damage that other relationship at all, which I think is beautiful character development, character design, right?
Yeah, that was awesome. I also go ahead. No, you go ahead.
No, well, the first part of that was purposeful.
The weird part,
because the useful part, the indispensable part, because I wanted I wanted him to fill a niche role that didn't necessarily need to be filled, but would be good to be filled.
Yeah.
And
we didn't really get a lot of mileage out of Julio, but there was the one time you broke into Somnambula and Julio was ghosting with Jack listening through. That kind of shit is very helpful.
Mm-hmm. Well,
so it's a good choice.
Is because Jesse read the source book to create the character of Deck/Trae, brings in all of these other aspects of the world that we never really played with. So that's really cool too, because it is all part of the same thing.
Yeah. And I started bringing that book in, whereas before there was never really any reason to. It's not that in this canon, DayTrippers is Ubiquity. It's the exact same world. Yeah. But when I publish the Ubiquity book, I'm not going to include anything about slipstream travel because it's easier if the GM wants to allow it to just fold those two things together than it is to force you to accept a reality jumping game in your city setting.
Yeah.
Right. Plus, it's day tripping is it feels like such an almost an outside thing. It's something that only the upper echelon of people can really partake in anyway, that it's not that for the normal person in the city, it's not really
right now. There's an open AI system, right? I think Google backs it up. And so there's a few dozen people in the world,
right,
who right now are using it to build AIs.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nobody else even understands what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, it's like happening in the background of everyday life while you're trying to put together what you're gonna do tomorrow. You know,
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. We're the D&D adventurers, and everyone else are the tavern keepers and the
yeah,
farmers.
quest
And,
giver.
we're that position in this system. You know, you're the people who are, you know,
I mean, just
quote,
look at
unquote, better than.
what was.
Yeah,
I mean, your
definitely
last
when I ran AD&D, I definitely played it that way. Adventurers people would use the word adventurers. That was like it wasn't a guild, but it was almost a class.
Mhm.
It was a class, and they were their own thing.
Yeah. But I mean, just look at your last payout for your mission was what, 10 megas?
Yeah.
That's like that's the yearly pay for a normal person for what, like 12 years?
Yeah.
Like, so like in a couple of months, you
10
made
years.
over a decade's worth. Yeah. So like that's
Really?
that's the different scale in society that you're in.
Oh
We're
yeah.
like space crabbers. We're like
Oh,
deadly
and
pets.
you are. Yeah, that's true. And you are poor compared to Scylla last week, and Scylla
Right.
last week was poor compared to Scylla today.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Yep.
I was gonna throw out there just about the whole the relationship thing.
Mm-hmm.
Is that moment when Trae or Deck was disconnected from his clutch? That was a big moment, I think. Just because we were there for it, and it was like an obvious thing that affected at the time Deck.
Yeah.
And there was like a transition there where it was like, yeah, well, you don't like wear your clutch now, you know, or whatever, you know, for whatever that's worth. So I loved that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it because of the way that Jesse plays Deck / Trae, he's like deliberately non-emotional. But that was my emotional hook for him, my emotional dilemma for him, and it's I don't know
Which is
how
still
it's going to
playing
play
out.
out. It is going to take a long time to play that out. Yeah.
53 equals 86.
Shrug.
Yeah, right, shrug.
Sure, right. Which I mean, that's the thing. I mean, now I don't necessarily know because I don't purposely put like NPCs. I don't want to tell other people how to play stuff, but like I almost picture like the rest of the clutch, not necessarily just like Trae, because I think he is like a special flower in the group. Even
he's a special little guy.
Yeah, but like they're all like the designation.
And because you're all trained in
is
different roles, you're all trained in different roles
even,
to
like,
support each other.
Exactly, but they're still they're contained. They're almost quarantined within their groups.
Mm-hmm.
So like they like as much as Trae doesn't know how, like the only people Trae knows how to socialize with are the other 6 people in his clutch.
Mm-hmm.
And so I assume like the other people are, except for there's probably a few of them that are specifically trained to be able to deal with other people for like infiltration purposes.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just how they act.
Training that.
Like,
yeah, and you know when they're good kids, they do what their clutch father tells them, and when the order comes down that Jack has been wiped and Trae has been severed from the group, there's nobody there who's going to just like stand up against the machine. They accept their orders, but you also know they're your brothers and sisters. They have some questions.
mm-hmm.
They're not sure.
Well, that's the thing.
Ask,
like,
and they're not gonna ask the clutch father, but they have questions.
Yeah, and that's why, like, I almost with this little like back end forum access that they have, I wanted that to be. It's like that's that's their middle finger to the system type thing.
Yeah.
Like, where we are speaking outside of official means.
Yeah, 53 equals
So-
86. That's
Yeah.
the official thing, right? That's what I was told. 53 equals 86.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The shrug is your brother going, "What up, bro?"
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Yep.
Boy.
And so I don't, but like my whole thing too was like with the thermometer and everything was me being like, how do you feel about it? So like the literal the read the room type thing.
Yeah.
Like what's the temperature of the situation on your side? So
Nice.
Well, you'll get your answer next month.
yep.
Because the Pony Express takes a
In-game.
long time.
Oh yeah.
Well, the crazy thing is, we didn't like. I assumed we were gonna like, all right, let's formulate the plan. You know, Reg, what did that guy tell you? Okay, they're gonna try to take care of it. You know, Trae said he was gonna try to take care of it. He's got this information. Like, let's put our heads together. Like, do we want to call Cordova? Are we gonna try to snatch it? Like, we didn't do any of that.
No, when I logged in, I thought there was at least a 50% chance you guys were going to storm Somnambula headquarters tonight.
That's also a plan.
Yeah, that is out there. That is,
But because that's one of the things that Jesse and I was talking about. It was like, hey, look, I know we have all this stuff on the plate, but the thing that the guy told Reggie was, we're gonna handle it. Maybe you're not as important as we thought you were. Don't worry about it. We're gonna take care of it. So like I thought coming in tonight, like maybe we make the plan and jump off and then find out like, oh, Somnambula exploded tonight. While we're like all fucking kitted out driving over or whatever, you know, like maybe we don't actually wind up having to deal with it in the fashion that we expect. Not that there won't be any fallout or we won't have to, you know, follow up with some other things, but not like, oh, we gotta like go fucking snatch him out of a fucking car.
Well, you're kind of doing it like more by the book than I thought you might. Like the renegade maverick loose gun approach would be to storm the headquarters, damn the torpedoes. But what you're doing is actually working your way up from the lower level thug to the next level up.
yeah.
It's like that's the way cops are actually supposed to do it.
Yeah. Which is kind of why Nash wanted to keep the guy alive, because then like he's useful in a sense of if we can keep him isolated and safe to get him to testify. It's whatever. But like again, that was kind of like in the back of his mind, like, all right, we'll just keep him close and
Yeah, it's almost like if I didn't get
that
shot.
that would have been very useful, and I think that's a like. I almost want to give you an experience point just for having the idea, but I also almost want to give Jesse an experience point for the scene where he just shoots the guy in the head. That was a great
he
scene.
gave us both XP.
You can always do that.
Oh, so yeah. Speaking of XP, Jesse 2 and the other guys 1 each.
Ooh.
I have to spend this at some point.
Yeah. Well, so I'm gonna have the same anxiety going into the next session.
Nice.
You know, I just realized something. I don't fucking A. Okay, so this is implicit in the rules. I'm speaking. I'm not only meta now. I'm not only speaking to you as players. I'm speaking to you as role players in general. Speaking to a game designer in the most abstract possible way. Okay, if you read the rules closely and start thinking about the cost of skill advances, especially the higher ones.
Mm-hmm.
You go, well, I got to figure out a way to get like 100 experience points at a time. And if you look at the things you get experience points for, most of them cannot be done 100 at a time.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a couple that can, and one is killing enemies, and the other is saving lives. with a maximum of 100 in each case.
Mhm.
The idea being that if you like blew up the headquarters of the Council of Evil Ricks and you killed all of them, you'd get 100 experience points for that action. Or if you did something that saved, like if you went to Oronira 6 and you saved that whole species of lobster people from being killed by those other lobster people, you know, you saved hundreds of lives, thousands of lives, you would get 100 experience points. Okay, so here's what I just realized. You guys saved the planet Earth. Nobody knows it.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But you did. And it kind of makes me think you should have got 100 experience points each at that moment.
Ooh.
Fuck. I'm down. No backsies.
I have literally told you it's canon over and over again. You saved Earth.
Yeah.
We totally did it.
Nash used that as an argument.
Yeah. So okay. And I'm sorry, Jesse, you weren't there.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah.
So yeah, you guys now have 100 experience points each, and
Fuck
think
yeah.
about that for
Well,
next time.
Lucid Dreaming is going up to 4. Rolling 4 dice with +4 in the skill, so
You could now alter the world.
add all up. Strap in.
So many XP.
If now I'm so what we should do with that is we should go back and retcon the last 2 sessions.
Oh no.
Editing for
Technically, Reggie gained that XP like 6 sessions ago, so he would have a +4 in his lucid dreaming, which means that he would have actually gotten a 10 instead of a 9 when he tried to jack into the dude's
Jerkus.
brain, into Jerkus's brain. So
I think it makes more sense because Reggie's been shot
I'm
and
joking.
almost died. Oh no, I know.
Yeah.
But yes, I will now be fully concentrating on making my human drones a reality. Oh yes.
Very
It's
cool.
actually pretty easy to explain a major shift in Reggie at this moment in time. It's a little bit harder to explain Nash having a major shift, but I think if you increase a couple skills that you already had, or come up with something like acting, for instance. Nobody was thinking of it before
I have
Scylla
it. Of
brought it up, right? There's some stuff that just kind of makes sense, so maybe it just kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
You have been paying attention to the internet more. You have been paying attention to stuff like the skill of acting more. There's always weird things on the side that you could pull in.
Yeah. And I like that because it makes the characters more well-rounded. Like when I was trying to argue with John for him to take painting or whatever, and you were like, but that's dumb. It's never gonna come up. But I'm like, oh, it makes sense though, right? Like it makes sense.
Oh no, it totally did.
Or to have that,
Or another thing you could do, you could take those XP, turn them into megas, and buy some really fucking awesome thing.
That too.
You get up Vector Radio.
I'm buying a new drone.
Like a +3 dream deck.
Oh
Did you take that partial drone out of the van?
no, I left it
Before
in.
we went in?
I thought we were going to be taking the van, and I didn't think we'd be leaving there so quickly. So I left it in there.
I didn't think there was any question we were going to be leaving quickly.
No.
I didn't think that quick. I didn't think in a firefight.
You did leave the parking structure in the van. You just didn't make it off the block. In the van.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's right.
Fair enough. Oh well, that's all right. Maybe I'll buy you one.
So I'm not really.
To get you one.
I haven't come up with a title yet, but I was thinking that perhaps the title of this session was "Chasing Sunshine."
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, they're always good. It was
Mhm.
It's always a lot of fun.
Sunshine in My Pocket.
Or like
Is that better? Because that's a Gorillaz song, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
better.
or like
What was the first one?
the unfortunate
Chasing Sunshine.
the unfortunate oh
Hmm.
god. The unfortunate fate of Jerkus. What was his last name?
His last name was
It's a great
Exeter.
name.
Jarkus
Jerkus.
Exeter.
Yes. The Ballad of Jarkus Exeter. It's a-
It really, if you think about it, this episode was his story arc.
really was his story.
It was. It was, and you know what? And because he was a member of the Sunshine Gang, and he was in your
Proverbial pocket.
in your possession. I think Sunshine in My Pocket actually makes perfect fucking sense.
Yep. Sunshine in My Pocket, the Ballad of Jerkus Exeter.
The Jerkus Exeter story.
He gets his own chapter in the novel.
That's right.
Yeah.
Really?
Can you imagine it
the
from-
whole story from Jerkus's point of view? They
Half of
break
it's
out,
black.
they run toward the van. He's going to be okay. These guys are now his friends, and then, hey, what? Boom!
Right.
That's the and the screen goes black. That's the end of the movie. The credits start.
Man.
Yep.
Oh, shit.
I can imagine it like a point of view. It's like a POV movie where it just starts with like him blindfolded and Nash talking, and then the blindfold comes off. He's in the desert,
Yeah.
Punch.
Yeah.
blackout again, wakes up in the van,
Having his life saved. And
One of
then,
those
Yep.
weird indie movies.
wakes up in the van with Trae talking to him, gets knocked out again.
And it's the other thread that's left unpulled is if that drone went back to Somnambula headquarters because it wasn't at Jackson's place either, then there's that to deal with.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'm looking forward to making that phone call because I feel like that really has to be
Yeah,
like a scene
Yeah.
where Nash just calls and be like, "Hey, I always want to say Joel. Hey, Ingwe, did you get the package I sent you?
Nice.
Good
Okay, so,
morning. Did you get
Jesse,
your
what
delivery?"
you said a minute ago about the single POV shot of Trey's Bad Day, it would be another good title. Trey's Bad Day.
Yeah.
It reminded me of that. I'll put it in the chat. This is I don't know if you guys have seen the Bad Motherfucker video.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so you need to watch this. I don't know if you want to watch it now, but it's like a one-person point of view, including badass fucking kung fu, kickassery, and parkour.
Nice.
Oh,
Fucking, it's awesome.
yeah. I think I have. Is that movie? Oh, what the hell was it called?
It's like a movie. It's like a fucking 3.5 minute movie
Okay.
adventure. It's amazing.
I'm gonna bookmark it for later.
What is that?
Didn't they do? They did an actual first-person movie.
They did. That's what I'm. It's something
Yeah.
Harry. What the fuck is it?
I can see that.
Oh, I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, there was a whole movie. I watched it. It was pretty cool.
I remember reading about
there's
that, but I
also-
can't remember the title or anything.
There's,
Yeah,
I think it's
not
like
in the
a
same way.
Coca-Cola commercial or something that popped up within the last couple weeks that made me that reminded me of Ubiquity, because the whole thing, it takes place like in the near future, and everything is like AR overlays with like popped out ads and all that kind of stuff, and I'm like, yeah, that's it. That's our fucking future right there.
And for some reason, did you notice the future is blue? It's always blue. Our
Yep.
It's a
future is
soothing
blue.
color. You gotta keep the sheep.
It is.
calm
It's a serene
and
color.
relaxed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I mean,
You know,
there's
one
the
actually
there's the
be that
color
way.
theory of movie posters
Yeah.
where it's either orange or blue, because they're first off they're what's the word I'm looking for? I should know this because I went to school for art. Where they're contradicting colors.
Okay, yeah.
They're opposite of the color spectrum. And so they work out perfectly because they add contrast to posters and everything. But blue is a common color, so they use that for drama and all that kind of in that stuff. Whereas they use orange for like action movies and everything, so it gets you hyped.
Another thing that you can see very easily if you go to the website of almost any bank or financial institution, almost always blue.
Mine is green.
Well, I guess a lot of people.
Well, that's right. That's a neighbor of blue.
Yeah,
it's always right in that. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you go to sites that are trying to sell you something, you'll see a lot more orange and red. Never huge blocks of it, but it's the free button, the buy now button. Those are always like yellow or
They're
red.
attention grabbers. Yep.
Yeah, and that's the way virtual reality is actually going to go, especially if it's subsidized by advertising. It's not going to be blue. They're all going to be trying to fucking grab your attention. Remember the hyper? Did I send you guys that one? The hyper reality video. It's another one on YouTube.
Yep.
Brightly, everything's brightly colored.
That was a few months ago. Yeah, when I first started playing with Deck. Yeah,
that's what it's really going to look like.
Yeah,
just brands and bright colors everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it. I hate it already.
It's Hardcore Henry.
There you go.
That's it. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, that's what this looks exactly like it. But yeah, this is pretty cool.
I think that probably its problem is that nobody knew it wasn't porn from the title.
Yeah.
Everybody tuned in, and you can see like the bar, like it's full, and then it immediately like just gets really small.
It was like, why should I fucking pay $7.50 to see some hardcore porn? I got that for free right here. All right, guys, that's it. It's dinner time for me.
Yep.
Yes.
Bedtime for me.
Yeah, ditto.
Thank you very much.
All right, well, thank you, Todd.
Thanks, Todd.
See you next time.
Good. See you next time.
Take it easy. Yeah, the time change got me all fucked up. All the 9 o'clock games now start for me at 7. Yeah. Well, so now it's only a 2-hour difference for me. So instead of me going to bed at, us wrapping up at 10, it's now 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Sunday fucks me because then the whole week, because today's my first day, so I've already been up since 4:30. So it makes the whole week drag.
Oh, boy.
But it's so good.
Yeah.
I would say if I didn't play any of my other games and I just substituted all of it for DayTrippers, I would be okay with that. If instead of playing my home game in Monster Hunt and Cthulhu and Rogue Trader, and it was just all DayTrippers every single week, I'd be okay.
Yeah, this is pretty fucking awesome.
It's more like, it's like all things, right? It's like if you can play board games every single day or RPGs every single day, like it's fun, but it doesn't have that same sort of verve that you get like when you only get to do a thing once a month or every other week, or when you have a time planned and scheduled. It's that much more enjoyable because you've got these 4 hours blocked out or whatever it is. If we played this every week, it would still be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to do it twice a week if we could. That schedule is impossible. But I think more than that, I think would dull the luster just a little bit. But that's like with anything. I feel like.
Yeah. I think a little bit of it is like the planning in between and like talking that kind of shit. But
we did it all today.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, honestly, and I think that things would change so quickly. Like we'd be boring through the story so much faster, like in time wise. That I'm not sure. I'm not sure it would get any less awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it would. I just, I mean, I could definitely do another week.
The funny thing, we'd have I'd have a lot of information fresher in our minds.
Right.
In my mind, specifically.
That's the problem playing games once a month is it doesn't have that immediacy and it's hard to remember what happens.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I took
especially like with with Deck or Trae, it's not as hard because I'm only going back like a few sessions. But and especially, I mean, that's the way that Tod works. Like he can bring up shit from like the beginning.
Somnambula.
So so like the two of you have to fucking reach back like 20 sessions or like a year and a half ago. Like
Jesus.
So
yeah, I mean, this game started. I don't even remember. I mean, session 9 was in 2018, beginning of 2018. So this game started probably in 17.
We actually we looked that up, or
we did,
after our last one,
I think it was early 17 when we started, and the Somnambula.
Yeah, I think it was April.
Yeah, I mean, the Somnambula stuff started in the first episode, and it's kind of been a thread that's been throughout. Especially it's come up in every season in varying proportions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the very first episode of DayTrippers was March 2017.
It's been a while.
And then let's see, when was... Did you come in that early?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Holy shit. I didn't realize
2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think John, I think Reggie's first was September of 2017.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Wow.
I remember having to drive.
So it's been a few years.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh yeah, with an extended hiatus in the middle of it there.
Yeah. Fucking you imagine how many games we'd have in the queue if we had played? I mean, at least another 6 or 7, 8, 9.
At least.
I'm glad, you know what though? I'm glad you didn't, because I wouldn't have had, like, when I came back is when I had time to come back. And so, like, if you guys hadn't taken that break, I don't know if I would have been able to come back or not, or like what kind of situation I would have come back to. Like, I wouldn't be Trae, I don't think.
Probably not.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm loving this dynamic, this trichotomy of awesomeness.
Tremakawa-ness of
no.
Awesomeness.
See,
you got it.
Leave all the wordplay up to John. Don't, yeah.
I knew I wasn't getting it right, but I was still going for it.
That's so Mawakasa. Oh my god.
All right, I'm gonna go to bed.
Yep, me too.
I'm gonna look up that guy. I have to be up to make sure I get the girls up. School sucks. I hate it.
Yeah. I feel the same way about work.
I get to work from home tomorrow, so I'm okay.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah, work from home.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I get more done, but man, it seems so. It seems so cheap.
Yep.
Hey, take it when you can get it.
Yeah.
I finally figured out how to get paid for the podcast. I've started doing my editing on Sundays at work. So I
Nice.
did
There you
about
go.
3 hours today.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, I used to do all my editing for Dragon Fister while I was working from home. And then so like when I started up Monster Hunt, I was under the same inclination of like, oh, I can just edit like whenever, and I forgot, oh, that's right. I'm not just sitting on my ass for 9 hours anymore. Like I actually have shit to do, and it's not as easy.
We're super slow right now. So I did like 3.5 hours today. And my boss is going on vacation next week. I'm going to edit every single fucking day that I'm at work for like 3 hours. That's the plan anyway.
Right.
All right, guys.
Go
All
ahead.
right.
See you next time.
Yep.
Have
Thanks,
a good
buddy.
night.
See ya.
Peace.